The beginning of the new season is starting with the scouting combine for the NFL draft. We heard from Howie today. We heard from Nick today. We're going to give you the state of the Eagles tonight. But first, an old Eagle want to come back. Our boy CJ. Y'all bringing him back. But listen to one of the memories he had last time he was here.
Jalen Hurts.
No, wait. Why his chain shine so much?
All right, because Jalen.
I'm not trying to ride it.
No. That shit was busted.
No, that one video is just
And I
playing in my
think
head.
me to y'all, that's humble nigga shit. All right, Jalen ain't show. He don't show no juries. One day he walked in. It's a true story. He said, "You think your shit shining, huh?"
He said that to everybody?
He said it to me.
Oh.
I said, huh? He said, huh? I see you on Sunday, boy. He walked in.
Came that bitch with a fucking scar.
I looked in like that. I said, Gabriel the jeweler did his shit. I called Gabe. I said, how much you pay? He said, you don't want to know. I hung up the phone. I hung up the phone. And he ain't never word again. He said, you know why I did it, right? He said, because everybody would compare rap. He said, I wouldn't shut the conversation up. He damn sure shut that conversation up.
How about our quarterback? How about our quarterback? I'm your quarterback. He's a stud. He is a stud. I knew he was going to play that way. I knew it. Don't doubt him. All he does
I'm
is
bird
win.
game 31 and I'm fly like an eagle. Hit him low, hit him high like the Eagles. Catch me on a podcast and we only talking Eagles. Dallas still sucks and ain't nothing like the Eagles. I'm one O-line, Jalen Hurts top 5. Run it like Saquon, like I'm down Queen. Always open AJ, touchdown, say. Strap him up like the Jean, sack him up, Zach Bond. On the road to victory, yeah. We gon' run your Eagles spot. Hit him low, hit him high. Hit him low, we gon' get him. Hit him high, we gon' let him. Hit him low, we gon' get him. Hit him high, we gon' let him. Hit him low, we gon' get him. Hit him high, we gon' let him. Hit him low, we gon' get him. Hit him high, we gon' let him. Bird gang 31 is a Holtzman. Bringing Eagles to your door like the postman. Make some noise if you a real Birds fan. Make some noise if you a real Hurts fan. Yeah.
What is up? What is up, Eagles Nation? It's your boy Bird Game 31 in the building. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a great day. It started the combine, man, and I got some people here today. We're going to talk about this Eagles team. The state of the Eagles is what we're talking about today. It's your boy One Trey Rock, and we got a new one on here. It's Susie Bleed Green in the building. How you doing today, girl?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm always good. I can't complain. What about you, Big Trey? How you doing today, my guy?
You already know, bro. Ready to bust it down. You already know.
You already know. We about to get down with it. You know, Howie Roseman spoke today, you know, at the NFL Combine. There's some clips I want to play with you for you guys, you know, about AJ, you know, about last season. That's where I want to start out with. Last season for the Philadelphia Eagles, you know. How do you guys see the season, you know, as a whole last season? Because we got a clip with Howie Roseman, great, basically giving us great how he felt the season went. Let's start with you, Susie, because, you know, you're a newcomer. Let's talk about how you felt about the season last year.
Well, I didn't feel great about it by any means. I feel like we were 100% our own enemy this season. I don't think that there was any other team that beat us. I think that we consistently did it to ourselves every single season or every single week. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to the changes that happen. I don't think it was a player issue, you know, per se. Definitely think it was issues with coaching and play calling. And, you know, I think
Yeah.
that we had a player or two, you know. I think that AJ got a little selfish throughout this season, and I think that he probably should have just sat down and read a book, maybe.
I read another book. I like it. I like it. And Trey, I know you talked about it a little bit, but like go ahead and talk about it again, you know, for those that didn't hear how you felt about this season.
Honestly, I feel like we kind of got back to the season before we won the Super Bowl where we try to go in house. Um, Nick Sirianni probably trusted Patullo. I'm pretty sure Howie Roseman them gave him the okay, but he kind of cooked the season this year. I mean it was week to week with it. Um, Sometimes, in my honest opinion, Jalen played bad. Sometimes it was Patullo. It was kind of a back and forth thing, and I feel like right now with the what we got and what I mean we Super Bowl ready, defense and offense, but we got to bring in the right people. We got to bring in the right people. In my honest opinion, I feel like we should have brought this year. We should have brought in a proven guy that was going to take this offense to the next level. But it's kind of like Dougie P. Nick Sirianni trusted his guys, and he kind of effed us. So um, honestly, winning 11 games through all the the everything we went through is really like a success for me.
Yeah.
Coming off a Super Bowl is not. So I'm like 50-50 with it. So um I'm kind of neutral about the season, man, and hopefully it be better this year.
Yeah, facts, man. And now you say that, like, that is something. Like people act like we were trash last year. Like we did win a division. We did go to the playoffs, division champions. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't go to the playoffs like, oh, we barely made it in wild card. We were division champions last year. Period. Back to back, first time since when? Like '04. Is that how far back it goes? '04 division champions. So people really need to understand that, even though it's a down year for the Eagles, it's a good year for a lot of teams in the NFL. We just
Oh
hold ourselves
yeah.
to that. What was that?
I just had that conversation with somebody because they said, "Oh, we were trash this year," and I was just like, "That just doesn't even make sense because there are teams that would pray to accomplish what we accomplished this year, and we look, it's like it wasn't good enough for us, and it's not." But I don't think that other teams have the right to call us trash when they don't even have winning records.
Facts. That's all facts. You know,
No, we still won. Look, 11 games in the NFL is hard. It's hard.
it's not the hardest schedule. I know I always say we had the hardest schedule because we're the champions. And then when you look at the only reason why they say we had one of the hardest schedules is because we played a lot of teams in our division. Didn't three of us make the playoffs last year? It was us, Washington, and Dallas, or was it just us and Washington last
Yeah,
year?
Dallas ain't make the playoffs last year.
So it was us and Washington. We both went to the, NFC Championship. So it's like that gives you credit alone, in terms of playoff team. That's another playoff team that's in your division that you got to play 2 times a year. And I think we beat them 3 times last year, 2 times last year, right? So, that's 2 wins right there. So,
And we beat them twice.
at the end of the day, it's like we still had like a tough schedule, which I am so happy that we don't have this year. You know what I'm saying? Like looking at what we play this year, it's like, let's talk about that. It's a dramatic difference this year than last year. We played, well, some of these teams are actually pretty good now. The Jaguars are actually pretty good now. Carolina Panthers are actually pretty good now. The Colts are actually pretty good now. The Bears, they're good too, but I'm not really worried about the Bears. Tennessee Titans, we shall see. I feel like they got the coaching staff to be good now. Cardinals is ass. And Niners are Niners. You know what I'm saying? The rest of these guys are just like who they are. So I still feel like it's still a little bit easier than it was last year. And the biggest part of that is because we didn't play all the way into January and February, I mean, like we literally would not even been a full month off right now compared to like we've been off since what? December? We ain't played no football since December. And with Landon and with, Cam Jurgens coming in this year healthy, I think the team could be a lot better just for that reason alone. The health, the time off. We're gonna have a new scheme that no one's gonna be prepared for. It's looking good for the Eagles. How you guys feel about that with the opponents we got next year?
The only thing about the opponents, honestly, in my opinion, is you don't know how a team gonna look. So we could see the Arizona Cardinals, we could see Carolina, we could see all these dudes, but you don't know how a team gonna look. This might be teams that be in the Super Bowl next year. You never know. So I don't take like early on. I don't take account with the schedule and all that. So it's it's really more of a like me trusting my team. It's like look, I feel like you can beat these dudes. I feel like you can beat this person. You can beat this team. You can beat this team. But as far as like team wise and schedule wise, just looking at it at this early in the process, you never know because we nobody thought Seattle was going to be good. Nobody thought Seattle was going to be good. Not with Sam Darnold at quarterback.
Well,
Nobody.
Sam Darnold did win the division with Minnesota the year before.
And what he did in the playoffs, choked.
Nah, I'm a USC fan, so I'm not gonna say Sam Darnold. Okay, that's my dog. Okay,
And Minnesota, hey, come on, you got to be real, BJ. And
and
that's why we
Sam
go back and forth.
Darnold was the
This is why we
laughing
go
stock
back
of
and forth and
football for
argue all the
years.
time.
But he,
This
he he has shown up the last 2 years. Like he's been in the league for a while. I watched him in college at USC. So I'm from Cali. I love
I
him,
watched him too. I watched him too.
but you know, it did take a while for him to develop. But it was like, what I'm saying? Like that's the thing about the NFL. What team did you draft? Did you get drafted to? You know, how much talent is around you? You know, all those things matter. And you see, when you get a good defense and a running game, and Jackson Smith and Jigma on your football team, and what did he have the year before when he had the same record, 14-3?
He had
Justin
Justin
Jefferson,
Jefferson
you're
last
talking
year.
about the best receiver in football 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
But listen,
Jackson's the best right now. I
but
don't give
listen,
up. I don't give a damn.
my point is, Justin Jefferson was the best receiver in the league last year. Sam Darnold did not win this Super Bowl for him. It was the defense, running game, and Sam Darnold was probably like third. So I didn't expect Seattle to be this good this year. I didn't expect New England to be this good this year to make it to the Super
That was
Bowl.
a shocker to me.
Yeah.
I'll say that for sure. That
So
was definitely a shocker.
you can't count a team out. Looking at the schedule right now, you cannot count a team out. It's like everybody is good right
I'm
now.
counting
So
out
they
the
going to.
Cardinals.
You can't count the Cardinals
I
out,
count them
BJ.
out.
You
There's
can't,
some
bro.
teams you can. You can count them out. They might not even have Kyler Murray next year. Like you can count these guys who's going to be on a rebuild year this year. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand what you're saying, where every team could be possibly good and they can possibly win, but that's one team off that list. I'm counting out. It's like that should be if we lose in Arizona. And actually, I'm going there because my mom lives in Arizona, so I will be there at that game. So I can see mom and watch a football game at the same time. And we don't win that game. I feel like Arizona, if we don't win that game, I don't care about Salas and those guys. If we don't win that game, those are two games. And if the Colts don't get Daniel Jones back, those are the three games that I feel like we should have no problems with.
The last three times we played Arizona, we lost to them.
Yeah, but they had no.
The last three times we played them, we lost to them.
But Kyler Murray,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
I
It
don't
don't matter
know.
how bad their record was, we lost to them. Yeah, yes. That's what I'm saying. You can't count nobody out on the schedule.
I'm counting them out still.
You can't
Okay,
count nobody
F
out on the schedule.
Arizona. Okay, I'm counting the niggas out. They done. They done.
I don't like
Those three
them, so
games
I
are
would
done.
like to count them out too.
How you feel about the schedule, Susie?
I mean, I would need to see how everyone is, starting to play for me to, have a better feeling on it. But I feel as though we are making the changes that we need to make, and I'm confident that we will beat them all. I think that this is the year that, I think we'll go right back. I'm not worried about anybody on the schedule personally.
I
So,
like it. I like
Susie, let me ask Susie a question. You you that confident in Sean Mannion, a backup quarterback? You that confident in him? I'm not. Honestly, like
what else,
I'm not
dude?
I'm not that confident in him. So it's like you say we making the you saying we making the changes that we need to make, but how you notice the changes we need to make?
You want her to answer first because I got a good answer for this one. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Susie. Hit that up.
No, you go ahead.
What's that?
No, you go ahead.
Well, my thing is like this. It's never been about other teams. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about how confident you are. I'm a huge Eagles fan. I'm a huge believer in this football team. It's not really about the coaches. Like that's how we won Super Bowls. That's how we won what we've won so far from the talent of the players we have on the roster. Coaching, you gotta be competent. So when you don't have a competent coach like KP, Brad Johnson, then or defense like Shane Steichen, and then you gotta worry about it. But the talent that's on this roster still today, I am confident behind those boys by themselves. Like, Mannion don't have to be like I told people, everybody's like, we need to go find like the next this or that. And I love the fact that he is, a protege of all these great coaches that we like to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I love that. That's awesome. But at the end of the day, all you gotta do is not fuck up, my guy. That's it. Don't fuck up. Don't be a KP. Don't know how not to make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love what the Eagles did with the coaching staff. You got a first time play caller, right? But then you threw a veteran play caller in, with the Grizzard from Tampa Bay, who's actually been a play caller in the NFL. Not the best, but he's been one to help him out with the fine tuning. And then a lot of these other coaches who they brought in, it's a lot of diversity, but within the same type fundamentalist scheme type systems to the point where it's like it should be a field day for these guys, man. And I know that my boy Howie Roseman feels the same way about this because this is what he had to say about it.
Well, he's always continuing to improve work ethic, looking for ways, incremental ways to get better. This system we think is going to be really good for him as well as a lot of our other players. He's always looking for a system of play, and we think that we have that. And so just really excited to get him back in the spring and get the reps and continue to learn the principles that Sean's looking to bring to our offense and go from there.
There's already talk of how
He's ready for it. He's saying it's going to be perfect for our boys. And that's
That shit.
all we're really worried about because Big Banjo's back for another season. Now, I'm going to be worried about next year for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be worried about that when we don't have him as a defensive coordinator. So I don't think Vic's going to stay around very much longer. If he was this close last year when we won a Super Bowl, and then he's this close this year where he almost didn't come back this year, like we would have been majorly fucked if Vic Fangio didn't come back this year. You know how bad our team would have been fucked? Like it would have been a huge problem if Vic didn't come back this year. We wouldn't be talking about, oh, we're worried about how, Mannion's gonna handle this offense that's full of all Pro Bowl players. It's easy to run an all-star team on offense, but what do you do on defense? Vic Fangio and these guys really handle their business on that side. And like when Vic said he's coming back, that's when I was confident again this offseason. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when it was like, okay, cool. Our defense is gonna be legit. Because the Mannion, like you can't tell me these offensive coordinators gonna go do the same thing we did last year. You can't tell me that. Like we are totally on a whole nother spectrum. You heard Howie and them talk about it today. Like we're on a whole nother offensive system. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not doing the Nick Sirianni offense no more. It's gone. We've been begging for this for 5 years now, 4 or 5 years now. Get that offense out of here because it's conservative, it's safe. It helped us win the Super Bowl. But if you're gonna be the Kings, you gotta be the Kings, and you gotta come hard with it. You can't be scared every year. You gotta let Jalen Hurts air that thing out and do his damn thing. So I feel good about what's going on. I think that this team is in the right, direction. And I think Mannion from Green Bay, even if he just brought over the Green Bay's offense, Green Bay was a lot more, effective than we were last year on offense. Um, Even for Saquon, you look at Jacobs the last 2 years. Jacobs has been, you know, tops in the league in rushing the last 2 years. So Saquon definitely gonna do his thing. So that's all that really needs to be said about it. I think it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna do our thing. And yes, is it going to be rusty in the beginning? Yeah, because depending on how fast these guys get in there and start learning the offense, hopefully these guys got some semblance of a playbook right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now, as we speak, so they can get started on this. And like Howie said, hopefully Jalen can get in there. Can't wait to see him get in there, start repping this stuff out because it's going to be a big adjustment for Jalen Hurts. I think this might be the biggest season for Jalen Hurts and what he's going to do for this offense, moving forward.
At the beginning of the season, we say that every year about Jalen Hurts. Every year. And BG, like they said in the comments, I love your confidence, bro. But we gotta see this shit first. We have to see it first, bro. It's like, all right, I like the fresh blood, bringing everybody in, let them bring his staff in and all that. But at the end of the day, Nick Sirianni is the head coach. He's the end all be all of all this. So you can't sit here and tell me you're not nervous. You're not none of that, bro. You can't sit here and tell me you're not
Excited,
worried.
Trey. I'm excited because we haven't seen it every single year for the last 4 years. I've been sitting there like, why is our offense like this? Even the 2,000-yard Saquon Barkley year, I'm still like, why are our offenses like this? And when I see the rest of the games on Sunday, it looks like this. Why can't I see the Rams, the Lions, like all these players doing all these different teams doing all these different plays, highlighting all their players, but it seems like it's so hard for us to pull. Yes, even that year we won a Super Bowl, we ran the ball effectively. Yeah, because our offensive line was dynamic, but we were still crying about how the passing game looked. So for 4 years, we've been running a Nick Sirianni passing game, and I'm done with it. So I imagine, right, use my imagination, that anything is better than what Nick had for the offensive game plan in terms of passing the football.
I mean, look, bro. It's all up in the air right now. It's like I if they wouldn't have hired dude, they feel something good about him, bro. But they also hired Brian Johnson. They also hired a couple of the offensive coordinators.
But
That
like all those guys were there. Remember, they kept getting promoted.
yeah, they're looking in house, but I think honestly, in my opinion, and hear me out, I think Sean Mannion was one of those dudes that you kind of had to reach for because everybody else was gone. So
But we
I'm
didn't
not.
really have to reach for it. Listen, McDaniels is from LA. He was going there regardless. He's from Florida. Why would you move from Florida to Philadelphia when you go from Florida to LA? That's just like a what geologic a geographical thing. You know what I'm saying? Like where he had to go to a better place. Plus, he's from there. That's the one thing. And is what's the other dude that went to Tennessee, the Giants coach,
They ball.
Dayball? Is he really that good, or were we reaching because he was a head coach and he hung out with Hurts and he knows Hurts and all this stuff? Like, really? Did you really want a Giants offense in here? For real? And think about that. Did you really want a Giants offense? It's a real question. Or was he one of the best candidates that were available at the time? You know what I'm saying? People got all happy with these guys. Yes, I wanted Mike McDaniels because I think he's a offensive mind for sure. But when I found out, he's from Cali, his family loved the whole Cali thing. It was like that's a no-brainer. I'm from Cali, and I'm not in there right now, and I would love to move back there right now. To be honest with you, it's the best place in the world. If you've never been there, Trey, you need to go down and take your Cali trip, and so you can see how awesome Cali is.
Bro, I've
You
been
know,
to Cali like 3 times already.
and you didn't
Hear,
love it,
hear me, hear me. I loved it, but hear me out, BJ. It was a reach. In my opinion, it was a reach. It didn't have nobody else. Mike McDaniels wasn't coming there. Dayball was not coming there. It was a reach. Now we
but a
got to
reach
see
is
it play
like
out.
saying like they didn't have an option.
They didn't. They
They
didn't have an
did.
option.
I feel like
Who?
we still had options. They just weren't
Who?
good ones. And then think about this though, Trey. A guy with the pedigree of where you're trying to go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these other guys would have been the same shit.
I
This
go.
is a different direction. You couldn't
I
get the
go.
top. Obviously, you're not going to get a Matt LaFleur. Obviously, you're not going to get a McVay because they're head coaches. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're not going to get, the offensive coordinator of Green Bay because they went to freaking Miami.
But
Okay.
that was we. That was at the Patulo had already.
But
They had
then,
already stepped you down at that. They didn't want to come here. That's the difference. They didn't want to
nah, I
come
don't
here.
believe that theory, though. That's a media click thing. I don't think they didn't want to come here. Everybody would want to come here. If you're really a football coach, you would want to come here. Why would you want to go to a place where your job will be harder to coach? Why would you want to go to an offense that has less talent? Why would you want to go? You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like
It
you
do
would
make
want to
sense.
go
It
to an
make perfect
offense.
sense. It make perfect sense. You know why it make perfect sense? Because they've seen the offensive coordinators that have been here. They've seen how the Philadelphia Eagles treat them. They've seen Jalen Hurts. You know the film is out there.
Whoa,
Why would
whoa,
why would
whoa,
you want
whoa!
to come?
Trey,
Listen,
God
hear
damn
me
it,
out. Hear me
Trey!
out, bro. No, hear me out, bro. Hear me out,
You
bro.
just said
No, hear me
you
out.
said Hurst name in this middle of your argument, and you know
I'm
I'm gonna
not
have to
dog.
fight
Look,
back.
I'm not dogging out Jalen Hurts, but he's limited, bro.
No, he's
He's
not.
limited
I
to.
don't believe that. I don't believe that. Jalen's done it. What four? He didn't went to the playoffs. He's been a starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles for the last 5 years, right? And we went to the playoffs every year of 4 years, and he's been in playoffs all 4 years, and he's had four different coordinators all 4 years. So
Well,
that
But it,
ends that story right there. Like you cannot say any system's gonna mess with this guy because he's been to the playoffs every single year. He's been quarterback.
but is
Period.
that
We don't
is
name
that
okay.
another quarterback that we've ever had that's been to the playoffs 4 years in a row besides Donovan McNabb.
but is that Jalen Hurts or is that the
I
team?
Well, that's kind of what I was gonna say. I'm sorry, y'all. I live in the back Virginia road, so I missed a lot of that. But I feel like this year kind of made me look at Jalen, and I was like, damn, maybe he wasn't exactly all that what I thought he was. Not saying that he, is not amazing, but I feel like it's very easy to do well when your whole team around you is there. If we put him on a different team with not as much talent, I don't know that you would get the same results.
Listen, guys, and I love that argument to you guys. You're like, hey, the players are so good, but every good team got good quarterback. Every good quarterback got good players. Lamar Jackson, two-time MVP, had the best roster in football both of those times. The best roster in football, period. Best defense, the best offense, a player, skill position player. You got Derrick Henry on your team. You're one of the most electric quarterbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like you have Zay Flowers, who's a Pro Bowl, or receiver. Like you have two tight ends Andrews and Likely. That's awesome. You got the Chiefs who sucked this year for sure. But before, Travis Kelsey, Tyreek Hills, Juju Smith Schuster. I don't care what y'all say about Juju. That's my boy. Juju's good. You know what I'm saying? That Xavier Worthy's first round draft picks at receivers. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all act like Jalen's not allowed to have talent around him. And Jalen, even before Saquon Barkley, Jalen went to the playoffs. Jalen went to the playoffs with Jalen Reagor as a starting receiver and Devontae Smith. That's your starting two receivers. You put that on anybody else's roster, nobody's making the goddamn playoffs. I
We
promise.
snuck in the playoffs that year, BJ.
Hey, shoulda,
We,
woulda, coulda, if, ands, or
no,
what.
ain't no shoulda. We
We
snuck in the playoffs
went to
that year.
the
Dallas
playoffs
won the
that
division,
year.
and
Did
we
we
snuck
not
in
go
the
to the
playoffs.
playoffs? I
We was like
don't
9-7. We was like 9-7 that year.
And we went to the playoffs, right?
We snuck into the playoffs the
But
last
we
week
went
of
to
the
the
season.
playoffs. If we were 9-7 went to the playoffs, that means there was what 24 other teams that didn't have a 9-7 record to make it to the playoffs.
Y'all don't understand the asterisk of all this shit, bro. It's like we snuck into the playoffs that year. If we didn't win that last game,
We
we
had
wouldn't
a
have been in the
rookie
playoffs.
Devontae Smith and Jalen Reagor, J.R. Sega, the white side. What was the dude's name? That Travis. I don't even know we had Travis here. Travis Fulgham. Like, what are you talking about? These
We
guys were
snuck into.
trash,
I'm talking about we snuck into the playoffs that year. That's
but we
just like
still win.
Tampa Bay the last 3 years after Tom Brady left. They snuck into the playoffs and they didn't win a game. It's like that was us. That's who we were that year. We snuck into the playoffs. All right, I understand. Jalen, Nick Sirianni, they've been in the playoffs, but bro, we gotta take it for what it
They
is, bro.
never not made it to the playoffs. Bro, never not made it. Like, what coaching quarterback scenario has never not made it to the playoffs? Never not made it to the playoffs. You know, name another quarterback coach duel that's never not made it to the playoffs the whole time they've been here together. None. Nobody. Their winning
That's a great.
percentages right now, if they continue on the path they're going, both of them are Hall of Fame. Head coach Hall of Fame, Jalen Hurts Hall of Fame.
I agree with that. I
Team, one of
agree.
the best teams ever to play football. You
I
know what I'm
agree
saying?
with
Like
that.
coach, like better than Belichick, like better than all that stuff. Like right now, their trajectory that they are on is better than everybody. And everybody loves to hate. But it's nothing to hate on. These guys are winners. I don't care about stats. I told you guys that a long time ago. I don't give a damn about Jalen Hurts throws for 2,000 yards, rushed for 700 yards, 30 touchdowns. Even last year, he had the most touchdowns he's ever had, but it was a down year. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had the best, percentage passing. I think it was either QBR or just a percentage passing percentage as he ever had last year, and it was a down year. And then you're worried about this football team. Like I said, it was never Jalen Hurts. It was never the receivers. It was the offensive line that been the biggest problem on this football team last year. And that's why I'm so excited. How do you guys feel about Landon and Lane coming back this year? Like, and hopefully they'll both be 100% healthy. Hell, Jergy even went off and got some still stem cell research stuff going on in a whole nother country. And he was proud to talk about it. He's like, yeah, I got these little babies, stem cells in me. I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's awesome. Because he doesn't care. He wants to be great too. He doesn't want to be the guy that sucked after Kelsey. And I don't know how he made it to the Pro Bowl this year. That was ridiculous in itself. Like, he was trash this year. He was trash this year. And he still made it to the Pro Bowl. So with a healthy offensive line, I'm telling you, if say last year Lane was healthy, Jergy was healthy, and Landon Dickerson was healthy, I don't think we're having none of these conversations right now. I think the Eagles are back-to-back world champions, to be honest with you.
I don't.
How? They were hurt the whole year.
We just screamed and cried about the offensive coordinator this year.
But
So even if they
the
was
line
healthy,
made
we
this.
still wouldn't have won that shit. We
I don't
still
know.
wouldn't have won that shit, man. No, BJ.
What
Come
do you
on,
guys
BJ.
think, Chad? I think personally, if the offensive line was healthier, it would have been more like a Brad Johnson type year, where it's like Brad had a top. What Brad Johnson ended up what? He was top 10, right, in offense that year that we fired him. He was in top 10 or top 50. I remember they said that. Like
What
people were like,
year?
we
Brian
kind of
Johnson?
the year that we fired Brad Johnson,
Brian Johnson?
Brian Johnson. Yeah.
No, he was kind of like bottom 30-ish.
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah.
We had a good offense that year,
No, we
even with
didn't.
the record. It's just his play sucked.
No, we didn't.
You gotta realize the Eagles been playing on talent too much. They're like, we got bigger linemen than you, we're gonna bully you. We got better receivers than you, we're gonna do a simple route set. Our receivers are gonna do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we've been doing. And now, as we won a Super Bowl and all this stuff, I feel like now it's time for us to actually show what we can do. You
I
know,
agree with that. Getting Lane back, getting Dickerson back, getting Jurgens back healthy, like that's going to help us. But last year, it wasn't that. The play calling was horrible.
yes,
Jalen Hurts didn't play well last year, honestly, because it was a lot of times like you can, if you got talent, you can over Trump play calling. He couldn't take us to that next level. So even with us bringing Sean May in my opinion, it's more going to be on the players. It's going to be on the players. Like you got Devontae Smith, you have AJ, you have Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. If we get Goddard back, we have Goddard. So it's like the NFL is more dependent on players than scheme and play calling, honestly, because you got to have the players to run a scheme in the play call in the play call. So if our players not playing up to par, it don't matter which scheme you running, that shit is not going to help you because your player's not playing up to par. Now we bringing Lane Johnson back. That's not a guarantee he's going to be healthy. It's not a guarantee Jurgens going to be healthy. Dickerson been injured damn near his whole life. So yeah, no, bro, like bringing those players back is not making me feel confident. It's not making me feel confident at all because these dudes are who they are. Now, if Sean May come in, he give you that fresh Sean McVay or whatever y'all want to say. Because I seen somebody in the comments, they was like, "Oh, he's bringing that Sean McVay scheme." You can bring whatever you want, but if it's not executed and schemed up well, it's not going to matter. Sean May never called plays. He sat behind some good dudes, but he never called plays. Just like Patullo did. He sat behind some good dudes, but he never called plays. So, yeah, no, I'm not confident about it at all.
but the
Until I see
difference
it.
is Brad Johnson and KP were calling Nick Sirianni the offense, and as you've seen with the coaching, hires that we made, we are not running the Nick Sirianni offense no more, and that's the biggest difference. Because even when the Nick Sirianni offense started with Steichen, you know what I'm saying? We went to Super Bowls. So it's about bringing something new to the table to make sure that we utilize these star players to the best of their abilities.
So if we run in the Sean McVay scheme, what are you bringing new to the table? You bringing something that everybody's seen already.
Not from
You
us.
bringing something that if you're doing West Coast offense, you bringing something everybody's seen already. You running
But
the same
everything
type of
everybody's
offense.
seen already. Everything.
Exactly. That's why I said players make the plays, not coaches. Players. Are they willing to buy into this? Is Jalen Hurts even willing to buy into this? Honestly, because at the end of the day, the dude, since he's been in the league, he didn't kind of ran every offense. So is he willing to buy into this? Is he liking what he see? Because it all starts with your quarterback. It all starts with your quarterback. Is he liking what he see? I'm not saying that we're not going to be successful. I'm just saying it's an asterisk. I'm nervous about it, honestly.
Well, let's listen to what Saquon has to say about the offense.
McVay out there with the Rams. When you think about what you know about that system, how do you think it fits this team and specifically your game?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I'm going on year 9, which is crazy to say. And I've had a lot of different coaches and head coaches and been a part of a lot of systems. And I don't think I really came across a system like this. And for me, it's just about, it's refreshing. You get something new. You get to learn something new. I got to meet him. We didn't really talk about X's and O's and kind of just really, kept it just introduction and got to meet a lot of the new guys on offense. But as a competitor, you love it. You love the challenge of putting yourself in a new system and, doing the things that you do really well and also things that you need approval on and that they're going to challenge us to do. And I feel like we are able to have that mindset as an offense and buy into that. I think the sky's the limit.
You heard it first from the horse's mouth. It's new, guys. It's gonna be fresh. It's what we've been asking for. At the end of the day, we as fans knew what we needed to do on offense for 4 or 5 years now. It's time. I feel like it's finally that time where the Eagles went out and got what we needed to do on offense for the last 4 or 5 years now. So it is what it is.
If y'all been following me and BG from the beginning, bro, there's a lot of stuff we agree on, a lot of stuff we disagree on. And I disagree on this one. Like I said, it's an action until I see it. There's a lot of coaches that came in fresh. Well, Sean Mannion, like 33 years old. He probably got everything he need to get in his head. But at the end of the day, you got to put it out on the field. It ain't no guarantee Goddard gonna be here. There's no guarantee AJ Brown gonna be here. So it's like, then what we doing? What we doing? We don't have a tight end on our roster right now that's signed. How you play football without a tight end, BJ? Like, bro, it all got to come together. Football is not basketball. Basketball, you could pass the ball to LeBron and be like, all right, LeBron, go out there and score 30. You could pass the ball to KD. You could pass the ball to these dudes. It's 5-on-5. It's 10 people on it. Football is different. The operation is different. It's like everything got to be in place. Everybody got to be doing their job. All that, bro. It's different, bro. Football is a whole nother beast than all these other sports. So if something not going right, it's going to affect your football team. So my confidence level is probably like I give it like a 70 to 80 right now because it's fresh. But I trust Howie Roseman. I trust Nick Sirianni to make this thing right. But if y'all depending on Lane Johnson don't have nothing to prove right now. He don't have nothing to prove right now. He got 2 Super Bowls. He got all pros. He got 15,000 Pro Bowls. It's like, bro, there's no reason for him to even come back, honestly, except for like the love for his teammates in the organization. So you think this dude with the mental problems he had, and it's documented. You think he gonna be ready to go through this whole season again? Brandon Graham probably not gonna be here. That's a veteran. AJ might not be here. Goddard might not be here. Blankenship might not be here. N'Kobe Dean might not be here. This team probably look way different by the time August comes. So I know everybody cool, like, oh, it's a fresh mind and all this Sean Mannion and stuff like that. But he's gonna have to maneuver through all this too. Nick gonna have to maneuver. Howie gonna have to maneuver through all this. So my confidence level is probably like an 80 right now, just because it might be biased. I love my team, but I'm not super confident in this right now.
Well, obviously you gotta go in there with high hopes, like I do. Because at the end of the day, we don't know. You're right. We don't know what's going down. We don't have a clue what's really going down. We can just assume. And for me, I just feel like it was coaching malpractice last year with how you're using the talent you have in your roster. So anybody that was applying for this job should have known that we want better than what we've seen last year, right? And anybody applying, Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman should have known, should have had a good plan coming in. So if you hired him, I don't feel like it was just like a petty hire. I just feel like you want to change, and what we wanted to do might have not been some of the other candidates. And we got the guy we wanted. He had 2 interviews. A couple of the guys had 2 interviews. We got to this guy, and he was just like, "Hey," basically telling him, "Yeah, Jeffrey, and Howie, that I'm gonna go in there and do what I can. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure your quarterback looks good, your receivers look good, your offense looks good as a whole. This is my plan. We're gonna run some motion. We're gonna be under center a lot more. We're gonna, scheme up things like a normal coordinator should do. And just because KP failed at it, we can't just automatically assume that man's gonna fail at it. You know what I'm saying? Like KP was no under schemes. You've been a football player. I've been a football player. There's been plays that if I were to be a head coach today, I know at least 15 plays throughout college, semi-pro, and high school that were money ass plays. You know what I'm saying? Like I know for a fact these plays work, and that would be the principle and the basis of my offense if I started to be an offensive coordinator today for any team. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was what worked for me. And I think Manny's one of those guys too. And the whole league, it's not like Nick saying it and that's it. Like everybody said this guy's dude, has a bright future. Which, of course, you gotta take that with a grain of salt. But at the end of the day, I feel like, he could be the hot next coach that we're looking for. Because it's not just McVay. You know what I'm saying? Like you got McVay, you got Shanahan, and if you look at their trees, those are the best offenses in football right now. So if he's coming from a tree of the best offenses, I know what you said, and obviously you're not going to bring the exact same thing. Plus, you still got the good plays that we did have from the Sirianni. Don't think Nick's not going to put his imprint on it and still bring in some of his stuff. And we still gonna see some Nick Sirianni offense in there. I promise you that. And just like we gotta move forward with it.
My thing is, like I said, we don't even know what this team gonna look like by the time August comes. So you can have a plan. What Mike Tyson said, you could everybody got a game plan until they get punched in their mouth, right? Yeah. So I mean, look, what's gonna happen when we get punched in their mouth? He's a new, relatively new play caller. He never played calls. He never called plays. He sat behind dudes that did, and you can learn from that. Honestly, Dougie P learned from it, and Showman was a backup. They seen the game from another perspective, but at the
But you
end of
gotta
the
realize
day,
Nick Sirianni and freaking Howie Roseman learned from it. They understand that with the first time play callers, what they had to do. Like they didn't do this last year with KP. They didn't go get another veteran play caller to be your head offensive guy that's supporting you. You know what I'm saying? Head passing coordinator. They got 5, 6 guys that have called plays to make
but
sure that this guy don't fuck up. Because
but
Grizzard,
my
bro, to me, honest, I said this before in the live stream. I think this is the perfect plan from Howie. I think this was a freaking another masterpiece from Howie Roseman, not playing checkers, but playing chess. Because if you really look at it, we cry about Jalen having consistency, right? And coordinators. This can be at least a 2-3 year thing right now with consistency. You know why? Let me break it down for you. Mannion, first time play caller, right? Teams after their first year, whether we win a Super Bowl or not, I don't think Mannion's going to be a head coach next year. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think he's going to be a head coach. I don't think, and you're not going to move a lateral movement thing, next year. And I just don't think he's going to be a head coach next year. I think that, even if we won the Super Bowl, which I hope we do, I don't think he's going nowhere. I think that's 2 years, right? And if you could keep, Grizzard in there after we win a Super Bowl, after we have a winning record, then there you go. You still got your quarterback guy, your office coordinator guy. And then after that, right, when Mannion plays the next year, we do good again, he might get his head coaching job after that. But then as long as Grizzard's in the roster, guess what? He'll be moving up to go be offensive coordinator. So there's a possibility the Eagles could have 3 years of consistent offense. If Jalen Hurts plays it right, if Mannion plays it right, and this offense plays it right. Like, it's a 3 year thing where forget the year-to-year thing. We can at least go 2-3 years out with the way that the Eagles set it up right now.
Okay. Now hear me out though. Lazard is a veteran, even though like probably not the play calling aspect of it. He's a veteran. There's a possibility we could lose both of these dudes after this season, depending on how successful the season is. So you gotta look at it that way too, BJ. There's a possibility we could lose both of these dudes. We could lose Mannion, and we could lose Lazard. The NFL is so crafty, bro. When they see something new, something they like, they gonna offer more money for that. So yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but it's a possibility we could lose both of these dudes after this season. If we do, like how we planning it out, we're gonna win the Super Bowl, just like we lost Steichen, Frank Wright, all them dudes, bro. There's a possibility we could lose both of these dudes because everybody in the NFL is looking for the next big thing. The next big thing. Now say we go out and we be top 5 in offense. He do play a game good. He do call a good season and stuff like that, and is as successful as we wanted to be. We can lose both of those dudes, bro. The NFL is crafty, and you know this. You know this, BJ. The NFL is crafty. They both could be offensive coordinators, head coaches, whatever, somewhere else. So we can't depend on that. What we could
depend on 2 years, I feel like. And 2 years is better than no years.
It might not even be 2 years.
And even last year, you heard Jalen said he's going to start working on making Jalen Hurts' offense. Because that's the next question I want to talk about. A lot of people are talking about Jalen Hurts not getting an extension. How do you feel about extending Jalen Hurts?
I don't feel like he needs an extension right now. I feel like,
well, not today, but in general, like they're like when it comes to center time, they're not giving him one. You'll let him because I think next year is like the end of his guaranteed money. And
at the end of the day, right? Jalen Hurts, he might have had a good kind of statistical season, but he did not play well this year. He did not play well this year. So, in my honest opinion,
you don't think he played good and he had the best percentage passing and the most passing touchdowns and the least amount of push touchdowns this year?
We talking about stats. What I'm talking about is eye test. He did not play well this year. He didn't play well this year. He played, I'm not going to say he played terrible, but he didn't play great either. He was in the middle. So he did not play well this year. So I don't feel like he earned an extension. I feel like he can rock this out.
He won a Super Bowl. He was Super Bowl MVP already. We've only got 2 Super Bowls in the franchise history. And he's one of them. He's never not made the playoffs. He's been Pro Bowler. He's been All-Pro. He's been Super Bowl MVP. You're telling me right now that you're on the fence and one of the guys that think that Jalen Hurts is not a franchise quarterback that you keep as long as possible.
I never say he wasn't a franchise quarterback.
Well, you're saying that you don't think he's going to get an extension because he didn't play good enough this year. Did Patty Mahomes play good?
What I said was Pat Mahomes got a 10-year contract. They never letting this dude walk. Ever. He has a 10-year
That 10-year contract's coming up. It's been
Yeah,
a lot of years since he signed that 10-year contract. And I'm pretty
Pat
sure that
Mahomes.
Cincinnati, Kansas City's in that range where in the next couple of years they want to get rid of Patty Mahomes, they can get rid of him.
I'm never getting rid of Pat Mahomes. What I'm saying is he got a 10. That's a baseball contract, BJ. A
That
baseball
was a
contract.
football contract.
Yeah, it was a baseball contract. Like he got 10 years. What other quarterback you ever seen get 10 years? Tom Brady didn't even get that.
Yeah, facts.
A 10-year contract. So what I'm saying with Jalen is like, okay, now it's year to year. It's a year to year contract. It's like, all right, we're gonna give you what you deserve. He got what he deserved. But Jalen Hurts also said, I'm going to stretch my contract out to the point where I can keep all my players with me. I'm gonna keep all my players with me. So it's like, no, bro, like he could rock out another year. He got paid. He's getting paid handsomely. We could rock out another year. We still got to sign Jalen Carter. We don't know what we're doing with N'Kobe Dean. Jordan Davis up in the air. He got to get extended.
Jordan
Um,
Davis got to get extended. I told everybody, see, that's why I love you guys that do rock because y'all know I speak the fucking facts about our team. I told you last year, Jordan Davis was going to be the best defensive tackle on our team. And you're going to have to pay this guy. And he was the best defensive tackle on our team. And I don't feel like, let's look at the stats here. Because everybody want to say that Travis Jones is the best CT, right? One of the best CTs. Well, this is the difference between his numbers and Jordan Davis numbers. Snaps, 1796 to 1593. Pass rush snaps, 1155 to 855. Run stops, 62 to 62. Sacks, 7.5 to 10. JD. Run win rate, 10% to 5%. And Travis Jones got $13.5 million a year. How much you think Jordan Davis is gonna have to get to keep him in the fold?
if it was me, honestly, I'm letting Jordan Davis rock out another year. You know why I say that? Because his first 3 years, 3ish years in the league, he underperformed. Super Bowl year, he played well. This year was his best
He never
season.
underperformed. Like I know y'all think he did, but I've never been on the board to think he underperformed. You know why? Because no matter what his stats said, everybody had to double and triple team him because of his size. Even when he was overweight, that was even more. When he was the highest, he was like 360 something when he first came to us. I know everybody like Scout and Combine said he was a little less, but the boy was 360 pounds, fat ass from fucking Georgia that didn't have to worry about being anything but a plug in the middle, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his role. Play the plug in the middle. And he came here and did that exact same thing here. When we lost Jordan Davis' rookie year, we had to go sign Adama Sue, Linval Joseph to replace one guy. One guy. Two former Pro Bowlers to replace one guy production wise. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really look at that as being like one of the things where it's like, oh, he didn't earn his thing because his size alone, everybody knew his size alone was going to get him, to be doing what we got him here for. Because it wasn't like the Eagles had good pass rushing defensive tackles. We did not have run plugging defensive tackles. While we drafted Jordan Davis in the first place, he's a big ass nigga that can go out there and do his damn thing and handle his business. You know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody saying he didn't do his job. I think he did his job perfectly fine. And now you're starting to see the benefits of that because we knew he was more because his athleticism was a lot more. than just plugging the hole. We're like, this guy should be able to get sacks. This guy, he ran a like fast 40. He should be able to get to the quarterback. And as you see in the last couple years, he's been getting that quarterback more and more each year. And he's at the point where it's like next year, if he gets better than he was this year, you're talking about all pro Jordan Davis. Facts.
BG, he was a first round high pick, BG. Come on, bro.
Because of
Come
what
on.
we needed, though. We needed a runs plugging defensive tackle. We didn't have that on the roster. And we drafted him to be that with upside potential that if you look last year, right? Just last year long, that upside potential kicked in. I don't give a fuck what you said. Blocking field goals, intercept, everything. Sacks, everything. That upside potential finally kicked in for JD. He was the best defensive tackle on our roster last year.
No, he wasn't.
He was better than JD last year. Don't say Jalen Carter that didn't even play majority of the year. And don't say fucking what the dude's name is. Njoku. No, not Njoku. What name? What African boy we got on our team?
BG, you know why they had to stop doubling Jordan Davis? You know why they had to stop doubling Jordan Davis? Because you had Jalen Carter right there beside
They never stopped doubling Jordan Davis.
Yes, they did.
The whole year last year.
Bro, yes, they did, BG.
Jordan Davis was one of the highest double team players.
No, he wasn't. Don't sit there and lie, bro. Don't sit there and lie, bro.
I'm not lying.
He was.
I watched the games. He was still double team last year,
bro. They did not double team this motherfucker, bro. That's why he was.
Dude, we didn't even have Jalen Carter on the team to double team that would have made his stats go down lower. But
Jalen Carter is the
Jalen Carter was hurt most of the majority of the year. So yes, Jordan Davis was double.
No, he wasn't, bro. He missed a couple games at the beginning of the season. But other than that, he was the highest, and we could look it up. He was the highest double D tackle in the NFL, bro. Even with him missing games. Jordan Davis got off because the benefit of Jalen Carter. Come on, bro.
They're both first round picks, so what are you really saying, though?
I'm saying?
What are you really saying? They came from the same team, and they're both first round picks. So what are you really saying at the end of the day? Like he was a first round pick that had another first round pick that was a pass rushing specialist, Jalen Carter. He's not a pass rushing specialist. He's just throwing that in there. And this year, his numbers was better than Jalen Carter's numbers.
Because Jalen Carter was getting double teamed all year. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, because Jalen Carter didn't play all year.
No, he did play all year. He missed a few games.
Jalen said he was playing hurt for like 4 or 5 games when he had.
It don't matter, bro. When he's on the field, you have to double team this dude
the whole damn time.
When he's on the field, you have to double team this dude.
He was not playing good.
Yo, BJ, come on, cut it out, bro. When he's on the field, you have to double team Jalen Carter. I don't care how healthy he is, bro. A one-on-one, he's defeating it every time. You have to double team this dude. Jordan Davis got off on the benefit of Jalen Carter. He did, bro. And we got to keep it funky. He did.
No. I don't believe that. I don't believe that it's because he's developing. Okay?
No, they're extending Jalen Carter before they do Jordan Davis. I promise you that.
Every player in the contract season, you can realize Jordan Davis was drafted before JC. So that means his contract came up. It was a contract season. He came and he was ready for the moment. He's like, listen, by the time my 4 years come up and my contract comes up, that year I will be ready to be the most dominant force in the NFL. And to be honest with you guys, y'all, this is a hot take that y'all can go run with if you want to. I think from here on out, Jordan Davis will be better than Jalen Carter.
What? Come on,
Yeah,
bro. Come on,
yeah.
bro. Come on, bro.
Because he started at a higher ceiling than Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was
That
a pass rushing, right? And he
that
got better. Listen. He was a pass rushing defensive tackle that was awesome. That got better at the run, right? But Jordan Davis' size alone, they don't make very many men that big, that athletic, to
he
the
got
point
better as a
where
run. He
if
got
you
better
look
as a
at what
run.
he did, if he were to perform at the level that we wanted him to perform as, it was no way that any defensive tackle in the league was going to ever be that good. And I
Come
feel like
on, man.
a
Come
Warren
on,
Sapp
DJ.
type guy. I feel
Come
like
on, DJ.
that he is that dude, and he's going to definitely show up and
The
show out.
second year of Jalen Carter's career, they were saying he was top 3 D tackle. You know how much of an honor that is? Like, bro, this dude can't be on the field and you not pay attention to him. Jordan Davis he was a no-show for the first 3 years. And he
He was
wasn't getting
not
double
a
teamed.
no-show. He was there. He did his part. Our run defense. Do you not realize his rookie year? When Jordan Davis got hurt that rookie year, we went from a top 5 defense to like bottom, 20 defense. You know,
No, he didn't. He was
like
only playing 30%
you
of
had
the
to go out
snaps,
and go
bro.
get not one, but two Pro Bowl caliber defensive tackles that try to replace one guy. And no one's seen that shit. And no one's seen that shit.
Yeah,
We had to get Linval Joseph and Dominican Sue to try to stop the run that Jordan Davis did by himself. Period. So I don't care what anybody say about that. Like Jordan Davis been that guy. It just he was a guy what we drafted him for at first, and now he's becoming what we hoped he will be in terms of getting to the quarterback, blocking kicks, returning touchdowns. That's what he does. And at the end of the day, no matter how much you love Jalen Carter, you cannot say that Jalen Carter had a better season than Jordan Davis. That just can't be said.
DG, this is why I love you, bro.
Look at this right here. Look at it right here. I just Googled it. It's saying Jordan Davis gets 71.5 of his snaps double team. Jalen Carter double teams 70% of his snaps. Look it up. So I'm not speaking bullshit, and I didn't need to look it up. Thank you for Googling it for me, Greg.
That's
I wasn't gonna Google it.
1.5%.
I'm just telling you what I see on the goddamn field.
That's
That
1.5%.
his size alone that gets him the double teams. Like you can't be a Jordan Davis when you stand Jalen Carter next to Jordan Davis. He looks like a little kid.
Bro. Jordan Davis, I'm not gonna lie, he played
You don't see
well.
the picture that they have
Look,
together where Jalen Carter
it
looks like
don't matter how big he is, bro. But you see the difference though? You said 71.5. Jordan Davis was playing like 40% of the snaps. Jalen Carter was playing 98.
No, he wasn't. He was hurt half the damn season.
Bro, the year we won the Super Bowl,
I'm
Jalen
talking
Carter
about
played
last year.
98%
I'm
of the snaps.
talking about last
He
year.
never got off the
Last
field.
year, the only
Jordan
thing-
Davis was playing 30% of the snaps, bro.
Last year's the only year
With
we
his
can
big
talk
ass.
about. I'm talking about last year. I'm not talking about the year we won the Super Bowl. Last year, I told before the season he was going to be the best DT. And last year, he ended up the best DT. Like, the numbers prove it right there. He didn't even get
Matter.
Jordan Davis got more double team than Jalen Carter last year and produced more stats than Jalen Carter. He had more sacks than Jalen Carter. He had more pressure than Jalen Carter. He probably had the same amount of block kicks if you want to throw that in there. But other than that, man, what are you talking about? It was
I'm
easily.
talking about, just listen, just hear me out. Jalen Carter, even with him missing games, he played more snaps than Jordan Davis. Way more snaps.
I don't know about that.
So
Yeah, look that one up.
70% on a 80 to 85% playing rate is way bigger than a dude that's playing 40 to 45% of the snaps and getting double
No, no,
71.5.
no, 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 no,
Bro,
no, no,
come
no,
on,
no, no,
bro.
no, no, no. That's where you're wrong at again. Damn it, Rob.
BG.
Jordan Davis played a lot of snaps last year. A lot. Like Jordan Davis was
No, he didn't.
70% of the time last year.
No, he didn't, bro.
Y'all be getting stuck on like past stats. And that's okay. Because I understand why you get stuck there. But at the end of the day, Jordan Davis played pretty much all the snaps last year. Like he didn't get off the field very much. If
BG,
it,
you just saying stuff now, BG. No, he didn't. He didn't. Come on, stop,
yes,
bro.
he
You already
did.
know.
Hey, you
No,
got
he.
check. You brought me those stats, check. Bring up the stats. How many snaps did Jordan Davis compare to JC play last year? Because I know JC was out a lot of games.
No,
So
he wasn't out a lot of games.
like
He
three,
only
four
missed
games
like 4 or
compared to
5.
JD.
He probably missed like 4 games. He wasn't out
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
games.
a lot of
He
games.
still played more. He still
I
played
don't
more
think
than
he
Jordan
played for
Davis.
us. I don't believe in that aspect. That's where we have a conflict. That's why I don't understand it. You don't understand that I think that Jordan Davis played more. So if you want to look it up, look it up.
You saying you think? I'm trying to
Well,
tell you
Susie, you
facts. He
back or
didn't. He
what?
didn't play more than him, bro. He did
We
not.
getting hot over here, Susie. So you came back at the right time. Let's talk about some Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter.
Um, Jalen Carter is actually my preference. Personally.
What you say? Hello? I think she went out. He said, I love Jalen Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter gangsta Green 2.0. And I'm not saying that Jalen Carter is not a gangster. I'm not saying he's not bad as hell. All I'm saying is last year that we're talking about, Jordan Davis had a better season. And if y'all want to dispute that, y'all can pull up whatever stats you need to find to dispute that. But from where I'm sitting and what I've seen with my own eye last year, Jordan Davis was the best defensive tackle we had.
Cut it out, BG. Cut it out, bro. Like, come on. You don't even believe that, bro.
I
You do
believe
not
it. That's
even
why I
believe,
say it. I don't
bro.
say
Yeah,
shit I don't believe. What the hell?
BG,
Like, come on,
BG.
you
You
know
don't
me,
even
Trey.
believe that,
I
BG.
believe that
Like,
full heartedly. I wouldn't say it if I didn't believe it.
oh my God, bro. Like, cut it out. He's never been a better D tackle. Even when they played in Georgia, he's never been a better D tackle than Jalen Carter.
No,
Ever.
he wasn't in Georgia. I will give you that. But last year, he wasn't even the first 2 years Jalen Carter was on the team. He hasn't been the best defensive tackle. But last year, I knew that it was that point where he was going to hit the point to stand and become the best defensive tackle on his team. I feel like Jalen Carter has to prove to me that he's the best defensive tackle on this team next year.
Cut it out, bro.
That's
He
what I
did
think.
it. Yo, cut it out, bro. Oh my God, bro. Jalen Carter is a top when healthy. When Jalen Carter healthy, top 3 D tackle in the league, bro. And he only been in the league 3 years. Jordan Davis can't hold his jock, bro. Honestly, the dude is a bully. He installed fear in people, and he putting up the numbers that he need to. Stop it, bro. Stop it. Nowhere near better than Jalen Carter. Nowhere near. Why do you think they drafted Jalen Carter? Why do you think they drafted Jalen Carter? Why do you think they worked so hard to draft Jalen Carter? Because they did not believe in Jordan Davis, bro. He couldn't keep his weight right. None of that. He's looked good now, but he's never going to be a better D tackle than Jalen Carter. Like, come on, bro. What are we talking about right now? What we talking about right now? The dude, Jalen Carter, is an anchor on this football team. Jordan Davis barely plays 50% of the snaps, bro. It don't even compare. It do not even compare, bro. Like I don't like that argument. It make me mad, bro. I don't like that argument because that's why we did what we did. That's why we drafted Jalen Carter because we didn't feel like Jordan Davis could get the job done. He was what Jordan did was a run stopping specialist. They should have never drafted him that high, honestly. Jalen Carter, he got in some trouble. Jalen Carter's supposed to be a top 3 pick when he's coming out the draft. It don't compare, BJ. It don't compare at all.
I'm back. I had to go to the bathroom. Sorry about that. But yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, I think you're tripping, Trey. I think you understand what went down last year. You're just in denial, just like the rest of them. Everybody wants JC to be the best defensive tackle in football. I get it. You want him to be the best, he has to be the best. He was drafted higher. He gets after the quarterback. It's what we like to see. We like to see defensive tackles that get after the quarterback. But you gotta realize throughout the history of football, right? How many actual defensive tackles like led the league in sacks? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we want JD to be, right? We want him to be that. But how many actually have done it? You know? You got Aaron Donald.
I got five. I got 5 off the top of my head.
Aaron Donald,
Yep.
Warren Sapp.
Yep.
Who? Travis Jones. You do it?
Randall, Jerome Brown.
Now you're going too far back. I'm not trying to go that far. I'm saying like in recent history, like it's just like the NFL has changed since then. Like it's not a run-based league no more. It's a passive league. So if you think about defensive tackles that actually lead the league, and there's only been a couple, you know? Even Fletcher Cox was one of the best defensive tackles ever. I don't care what anybody say. Fletch is one of the best ever to play defensive tackle.
I agree with that.
And he was a run-stopping defensive tackle. He wasn't Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was a pass rushing defensive tackle. That's right. Aaron Donald got more sacks, but we always said, right? Aaron Donald got the sacks, but Fletcher Cox was better because he stops the run and he gets some sacks. I think
the difference with Aaron Donald is he played the run. He played the run to get the sacks. So we ain't gonna slight Aaron Donald. He played the run to get the sacks. That was the scheme.
He wasn't a run stopper like Fletcher Cox.
Yes, he was.
No,
Aaron Donald was an all-around defensive tackle.
At the time, Fletcher was way better at run stopping, and Aaron was way better at sacks. Like, I'll give him that, but it wasn't like it was the same. It wasn't the same. It definitely wasn't the same. Like Aaron Donald, just like Fletcher Cox wasn't the pass rusher that Aaron Donald was, but he was definitely the run stopper that Aaron Donald wasn't.
Aaron Donald and Fletcher Cox was 1 and 2. You know why I say that? Because Aaron Donald was 1, Fletcher was 2. Aaron Donald played the run because even when the Rams was top 5 and then Aaron Donald's whole career top 5 in run defense because he played the run to get the sacks. That come off the play action, all that stuff like that. But he definitely played the run. Fletcher was he was an all-around type defense.
Aaron Donald was an undersized guy that played the run good. He wasn't an elite at it. He played the pass. He rushed the passer good. That's what made him the dog that he was. You know?
He did everything good.
ass Mississippi boy that weighed, 330, 340, and was, imposing in that middle because of his size. Like, that's what people don't understand. There's size and there's talent. And Donald was a talent that got you to sacks. Jalen Carter's a talent that gets you to sacks. But Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox type guys were the run stoppers first. Jordan Davis, you think about Fletcher Cox's career. I want you to think about this. Think about Fletcher Cox's career. Fletcher did not even have double-digit sacks this last year. In the Super Bowl that year when we almost broke the year record in most sacks. That was
He never had double-digit sacks.
That was the
first in his career.
Got close to it. That was the first time he even sniffed it. You know what I'm saying? Out of all his career. But he was still legendary in terms of being a defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? Corey Simons of the world. Like all these other guys, they didn't. You can tell that Fletcher's better than those guys. And they were good defensive tackles. Jurgensons and all those guys that stopped the run good. Like they weren't Fletcher.
So you put Fletcher at top 10 D tackle all time. You put Fletcher top 10 D tackle all time.
I'm thinking about it right now. I'm trying to think of what other.
You don't got to think about that with Aaron Donald. You don't have to think about it
because of his sack number.
You don't have to think about it.
You're making my point. You're making my point. I don't think about it with Aaron Donald because he got the sacks, but I do have to think about it with Fletcher because he got the sacks at the end of his career.
It's not sacks. It's just
he was
impact.
Like a 6-sack guy.
It was just impact on the game. Aaron Donald made a way bigger impact on the game than Fletcher Cox did.
I don't think that. I think it was 1 and 2. Like they were 2.
No, Aaron Donald made a way bigger impact on the game than Fletcher Cox did.
To me, when they were playing, Aaron Donald and Fletcher 1 and 2. And Aaron was number 1 because he got the sacks. Fletcher was number 1 because he stopped the run. And he didn't get this. He got sacks. He didn't get as many sacks, but he got the sacks. That's how I see that. And I feel like that's the same case we're going through right now with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. You heard Howie say, listen, Howie said this, guys. Y'all don't want to listen to me. Howie said this already. Let's see, where's that? Where's that? He said, can we keep all the guys coming off rookie deals? No. We're going to have to make choices. Meaning, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Quinn Young, Nakobe Dean. And it's funny how this picture right now, if you look at the picture that I have up, it says Nakobe Dean is the only one that's highlighted. That's weird. I just noticed that. Nakobe's the only one highlighted in terms of the ones that have to leave the team. We're going to make some hard choices is exactly the words that, Howie said. And I really think that comes to our next
Javon Curse was a defensive end. We talking about D tackle right now.
No, he wasn't. No, I'm not giving you that one.
He was a defensive end. That's what I just said. We can't bring up Javon Curse because he was a defensive end. We talking about D tackles that had impact on the game. Warren Sapp. Dudes like that.
Warren Sapp. That's why I love Jordan Davis because you can go to Villa. Another guy. It wasn't high on sacks, but impacted the game. At the run, stopping. Listen, our team went from top
there wasn't a big impact on the game.
Rookie year. I'm going back to this rookie year. Our team went from top 5 to like 15, 20 when he got hurt. We had to go sign 2 Pro Bowl, All-Pro caliber DTs to replace one guy. That year we went to Super Bowl, we had two, Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph, Pro Bowl, All Pro. Hell, Ndamukong was one of the best ever in a game. You know what I'm saying? To replace one guy. Hargrave, I liked Hargrave too. Jordan Davis, I like him more. I do. I like Jordan more. He's bigger. Like his size, you cannot replace that size. You can't replace it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, JD was that guy, man. You know, he's that guy. And you got to pay him. You don't have to pay his ass. You know, and that's why I like looking at Travis Jones' numbers, because Travis Jones is another defensive tackle that is very disruptive. You know, he's very disruptive. And he deserves money. And he's one of the highest paid defensive tackles in the game right now. And you look at Jordan numbers, man, like it's right there.
Who Travis Jones, BJ? You talking about Chris Jones?
Chris Jones. I know. I think that's what they meant to say on that number. I said Travis because they said Travis. But I think they meant
you talking about Kansas City D tackle? His name is Chris Jones.
Yeah, I don't know why they put Travis Jones on here. They're fucking retards. But they meant Chris Jones. You know? And Chris Jones is one of the best. You know, but he's a mix of both. He does stop the run and he does get sacks. He just don't get as many. And one thing that I said about Jalen Carter since the beginning of this whole thing is that we crowned him king off rip. You know what I'm saying? Off the draft. When we drafted him, we crowned him. And people don't understand. When you crown somebody off the rip like that, no. And now you're supposed to be the best. And since Jalen Carter's been in the league, he's never been the best at anything. He's never led the league in sacks. He's never been the most disruptive player in the league. Never. You know, he never led nothing. But we still crown him as king. That's the guy you need to watch out for. That's the guy that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's that dude. He's never been number one in nothing. And that's what made me think, a guy that's been a run stopper, a guy that's been the number one run stoppers in the league. All he has to do is add sacks to that. And he did this year. He's also added blocked field goals. He's also got field goals for touchdowns that these guys don't got. That's why I say JD is the best D tackle of the Philadelphia Eagles. So now it's coming down to paycheck time and how he's going to have to make some huge decisions. Like, who are you paying? Are you paying both? Which you'd be smart to, you know, if you want to be a smart GM. You pay both of them. You don't just pay one, you pay both. That leaves less money for other positions. Maybe you don't re-sign a guy like Nolan Smith, Jalis Hunt. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely resign both of those cats. And I think that's what Howie was speaking on. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, guys. I don't know where Trey went, but he says Javon Hargrave got 11 sacks for the Eagles in 2022. Got 70 sacks in 2022, third most all time. Has already got 16 sacks. But beat Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat got 11 each. And then Fletcher Cox got 10-2 that year. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they did. Hey, AJ, have a good night, my guy. Thanks for joining us. Y'all hit that like before you leave, man. Hit that like, hit that comment, hit that subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like we just talking birds right now. We just talking birds right now. Well, let's see here. Where else we gotta go before we get out of here? How about this one, Trey? How you feel about this? The Jacks are interested in signing Tanner McKee. For one, what do you think the trade offer would be worth? And for two, do you want to see Tanner leave?
Um, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like Tanner put in enough work to fight for a #1 spot. He's never going to get one here in Philly. So, but honestly, I don't think we giving up nothing valuable. Who they got valuable, honestly, except like Garrett Wilson, um, somebody like that. So, I mean, it's clearly going to be a pick for Tanner McKee. Um, and if it's going to be like a second or third round, I'm cool with that. A high second or third round, I'm cool with that because I honestly, in my opinion, he deserves to go fight for a starting spot, man. The dude held us down as a backup whenever something happened and Jalen couldn't play or it was like last minute of the season. He held us down, except for like kind of last year. He disappointed us against Washington, but other than that, I feel like he earned it. He earned his right to go fight for a starting spot somewhere, and the Jets probably be the best position for him because I don't think they really believe in Justin Fields. And I mean, look, I feel like he could win that job. So if we could get a nice pick for him, a high third, high second round, I'm cool with it. Um, I like Tanner McKee.
He's in high second. All right. I
Yeah,
think
like
that's fair.
like a high second, high third.
Yeah, I think second is still like I don't care that he didn't come in last season like he did the season before and like Super Bowl out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool, because you can't keep expecting players to come off the bench and perform at a high level. So yeah, I think a high second, early third, definitely gotta be early third if we did, but I'm more towards the high second in terms of like what we should get for compensation. You heard Howie say that he knows what we value our players at. And if you're taking away from a backup that's possibly could win games for you. We had a guard bench, we had other guys that I feel like McKee better than right now. And you know, you gotta at least get a number two for him. Like if he goes to the Jets, that's fine. If someone to bring him on their team to be their starting quarterback, Howie made the trade because those teams that would bring him in to be the starting quarterback will be giving up assets to make sure that he's their starting quarterback. And if that's the case, then Howie go pull the plug, to go do your thing and do it. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about Tanner McKee,
All right,
moving forward.
so in my opinion, bro, like I said, he sat behind Jalen Hurts for a couple years. He learned the game. I feel like Tanner McKee, if he fall into the right situation, he could be honestly be a starter on somebody's football team. So um I wouldn't hold this dude back another year. I'll let him go spread his wings. And we could figure the back out the backup thing. So nah, I'll let him if we could get a nice pick for him because he's still young. If we get a high second, high third, maybe even a high fourth, I'll let him walk for that. Somebody that's gonna really like let this dude compete for a first. I mean, the starting job. So he's not gonna win it here with Jalen here. Honestly, he's never gonna beat Jalen out. So let him go compete. Let him go compete. He's still a young dude, and honestly, I feel like he can help a team out like the Saints, Arizona Cardinals, Jets, somebody like that. He can help them out. I mean, he could be serviceable
A
for him.
lot of
So
teams, I think the Raiders. You know,
Raiders. Yep,
you don't even have
Raiders.
to
Yep.
worry about,
Browns. He can
sign
help.
it.
He can help a lot of teams out.
You can go get the best receiver, the best running back, whatever you got to do if you want to just not worry about quarterback. Because I know y'all looking at Fernando, because my guy, but like you can get a guy like Tanner McKee and just add around him and be good. So if you were Howie Roseman, what would be the first move you do this offseason?
My first move is I'm re-signing the Kobe Dean. I'm re-signing the Kobe Dean because he was the anchor of this defense last year. Even with Zach Bond, Campbell, Jalen Carter, the most consistent thing we had on this defense was Kobe Dean. If it was blitzing wise, coverage wise, getting everybody in the right position that they need to get in. So I'm re-signing the Kobe Dean first if I can. Depending on the numbers. If not, it's Reed Blankenship. I'm definitely extended Jalen Carter. And that'd be my top three right there, honestly.
First move. First move for me, I'm re-signing Jalen Phillips. You seen how he played with Fangio in Miami. You seen how he played without Fangio in Miami. You seen how he came mid-season with the Eagles, Fangio. I don't want to see what it looks like without Fangio again. If Fangio's staying with this team for another year, I think that's your number one priority, whether it's a 2-year deal, a 1-year deal, or a 3-year deal. You go get Jalen Phillips. Because if you don't get Phillips, only two alternatives that I feel like, because we got a lot of good players. Hunt, Nolan, they're good players. But in terms of elite players, in terms of guys that move the bar, they're not those guys. I love Nolan Smith. He's not the guy. He's great in run defense. But he's not getting the sacks you want. Nolan Smith can, other one, Hunt, he's getting sacks, but he's not the run stopper you want. In terms of all together, our defense went from 5th to, I think they went from 15th to number 5 or number 1. One of those two in terms of once Jalen Phillips came, to our football team. Every stat went up because he was there. Now, I would love to get a trade with Cleveland for Myles Garrett. I would love to get a trade with the Raiders for Crosby to upgrade that. But if you can't get those two trades, you're re-signing Jalen Phillips to your football team. He made us that much better. He likes the scene. He loves the team. He loves Philadelphia. You let him stay. And that really does put it into our pass rushing. Unless you want to go sign somebody else that's free. But that's it right there. I think Hunt and Nolan can hold down the other side while Jalen Phillips is our best guy. Maybe sign Brandon Brown back for another cheap deal because he'll come for a cheap deal. And that's all you need at the DTs to win a championship. But I'm not letting Jalen Phillips walk for sure. That guy, he elevated our defense so much. Just as much as you could say no Kobe Dean did, he elevated it too on that pass rushing side. Where he let everybody else eat from him being on the football field. And we need those type of game changers on our defensive line this year if we're going to go out there and win a championship.
All right, so with the Jalen Phillips thing, he has no ties to Philadelphia. So that's going to be a task within his own. He don't have no ties to Philadelphia.
Big Fangio at the time. Big Fangio was the only year he had a really good year was with Big Fangio, and that's his time.
No, BJ. He don't have no ties to Philadelphia. It's like at the end of the day, he gonna protect his family. I need this for my family. Jalen Phillips never had a big contract. Coming off this year is a possibility. He don't have no ties to Philadelphia. He wasn't drafted here. He played in great weather in Miami, so it's like L.A. He gonna stay. If I'm Jalen Phillips. I'm staying in that West Coast. I'm getting my family to a place where we gonna stay in this West Coast, and we gonna get some money off of this. So he don't have no ties. Vic Fangio, okay. I mean, he played well under Vic Fangio, Miami,
His
Philly.
best two
He played well
years
under.
been under Big Banjo.
No,
Yeah. The first year on Miami and last year with the Eagles.
now Nakobe Dean, I could see that because Nakobe Dean was drafted into Philly, the culture. He got all his brothers here and all that. Jalen Phillips came halfway through the season. He only played a half a season with Philly. He don't
But
have
in
no
his half
ties
a
to us.
season made the defense go from 15 to 5th.
It wasn't him. We was in that range before he got here. He made it better. He made it better, but like I'm telling you, bro, this is gonna be a task trying to sign him because he's looking for money. He's not looking for none of this loyalty, Philly culture, or none of that. He's looking for bread right now. He only
But
been
he
here a
didn't
half a
say
season.
it though. He said he's down. He loved Philly. He don't want to play nobody else, nowhere
It
else.
don't matter what he say. It matter what he's talking about with his manager, his agent. It matter. That's what matter. He trying to get paid. He coming off 2 ACL tears. He trying to get paid. The NFL stands for not for long. Yeah, no, we're gonna get this paper while we can. And if Philly can't give us that, we're gonna find it somewhere else. He don't have no ties to Philly. Except Vic Fangio. He don't have no ties to Philly.
Big Banjo is that one tied to that. I'm right now. Nakobe Dean coming back. Like the biggest thing is, do we want Nakobe to come back? Because listen, guys, let's talk about this for a second. Zach Bond right now, right as of right now. Where's it at? Did I have it on here? Zach Bond is a top linebacker in NFL, two-time Pro Bowler at linebacker. That he just started playing, right? Now this is a gamble for Philadelphia to me, right? But you got to make the move. You got to decide now what you want to do for the future of this linebacker position, right? You got a two-time All-Pro and Zach Bond. You got Nakobe Dean, who, when healthy, was the heart and soul of this defense. And then you went out and you drafted a number one linebacker and Jahad Campbell, who was on pace to be the defensive player of the year until Nakobe Dean got healthy and came back and played the way he played.
He was not on pace for that. Come on,
He
BG.
was on
Stop,
pace to
bro.
be a
No, he
defensive.
wasn't, bro. Like, come on, stop, bro.
Yes, he was. He only
You
had
sitting
one
there dragging it,
over
bro. You
10
sitting there
over
dragging it, bro.
blown
He was
coverage,
not on pace
like
for that.
whatever. He was on pace to be a defensive player of the year. Rookie defensive player of the year. Not defensive player of the year. Rookie defensive player of the year. That's what I meant to say. He was on pace to being a rookie defensive player of the year. Not defensive player of the year, my bad. But rookie defensive player of the year. Until Nakobe came back and did that from home. So now you got a guy that can't stay healthy. And then you got Zach Bond 2.0, faster, more agile, and Jahad Campbell. What should the Eagles do? Should they re-sign Nakobe Dean, let Bond play this year? Because I think after this year, there's no more guaranteed money. You can let him go. And you can start a guy like Jahad Campbell. Should you start Jahad Campbell this year and let Nakobe Dean go and have Jahad Campbell and Bond? What should you do this year if you're Howie Roseman?
You want to know what I'm doing?
What you doing?
What I'm doing is I'm re-signing the Kobe Dean. I'm keeping Zach Bond. Zach Bond gonna be here. He already signed the contract, and I'm using. All right, so hear me out. I'm using Jahan Campbell as that Michael Parsons type slash linebacker in the base defense slash pass rusher on third down specialist. I'm using him as my X factor. You can't limit this dude to just linebacker. You can't. He didn't play that at Alabama. He was a great pass rusher at Alabama. He was a great blitzer linebacker. He played well off the edge. I'm Vic Fangio, I'm using this dude as our X factor. I'm using him as our X factor. I'm re-signing the Kobe Dean. I'm keeping John Campbell. No, you got if Nolan can stay healthy, bro, you're gonna have so many weapons to play with if you play this thing right. But I'm not letting the Kobe Dean walk out this door. I'm not at all. Because this dude, even with, like I said, the Zach Bond being there and all that, he was the heart and soul of this defense this year. The heart and soul. You want to sending him on blitzes. He wrecking plays. Coverage. He wrecking plays. Even just getting the dudes lined up right. Bro, you can't lose that in your locker room, honestly. So I'm using Jahan Campbell because this is his second year. He got time to grow. This is his second year. Just like Makuba. I feel like the same way about Makuba. He's going to be a dog, but he's still young. So I'm keeping Blankenship. I'm keeping Sidney Brown around.
Oh, keep
So,
that.
yeah,
I gotta go back. Keep rocking.
no, I'm keeping these dudes around, bro. Like honestly, like I'm keeping Blankenship around. Blankenship been in this organization, this culture for like probably like this is like his fifth year. I'm keeping the Kobe Dean. The Kobe Dean was drafted here. All his brothers here. I'm keeping them. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with John Campbell. It's his second year in the league. I don't care how high he got drafted. It's his second year in the league. You can figure out a position to put him at. You could put him at that X, that rover. You could put him at that. I'm keeping Jordan Davis. I'm keeping my whole core together if I can. If you can't, it's a business. But if not, the culture, all that, Nick Sirianni, the culture, I'm keeping these dudes, bro. I'm doing everything I can in my power to keep these dudes. Even if it got to go to the negotiating, breaking it down, stretching the contracts out, I'm keeping these dudes, bro. You don't go like you don't want to lose your top player. Even with Blankenship, I don't feel like he's the greatest safety ever, but the dude fit into this culture. I'm keeping all these dudes. I'm keeping my defense as sturdy as I can because that's what we relied on last year. Our defense. That's what we relied on, our defense. So I'm keeping everybody I can. I'm not breaking this defense up if I can't. If I got a choice, I'm not breaking it up. Offensive wise, a couple of these dudes can walk away. Dotson, they can walk away. Even we can spare even Goddard, honestly. But I'm keeping my defensive core together. All these dudes is under, except for probably Zach Bond. All these dudes is under probably 26 years old. So I'm keeping these dudes together. And y'all got the same defensive coordinator. I'm keeping them together. We could build on this defense. Offense, we probably got to put it back together. That's what it's going to be. But we not breaking this defense up. I'm keeping these dudes together.
Yeah, I like it, but I would say like this. I'm not one to believe that you spend a first round pick on a guy that's a baller and you let him go. Like I understand he's a rookie last year and it's time for him, I feel like even last year when he was on pace to be defensive rookie of the year, and then the Kobe Dean came back, and then he didn't play. Like they didn't even play him for 4 games. Like he sat bench for 4 games before Nakobe Dean got hurt again, and they brought him back. Like that alone. And when he came back, he was better in the run game. That was the problem in the beginning of this situation when he was playing. That was his only flaw. Was the run game. He was pretty good in the pass. He just kind of was lacking there in the run. And I think he came back and he fixed that. But a whole off season, my guy, I feel like you gotta start looking to the future. Either you believe Nakobe Dean's gonna be healthy moving forward, and you sign him to a 4-year deal, and you let him and Campbell be your linebackers. But it's like impossible to say that when you got a two-time All-Pro linebacker, Zach Bond, right? So Zach Bond, Campbell are basically the same position. Campbell's a new age version of the Zach Bond position. Dean is the run-stopping linebacker. So either you believe Dean's going to be healthy and you resign him, let Zach Bond and Campbell split this year, with Campbell going to some defensive end, or you say fuck it and you let Dean walk and you let Campbell and Bond be your linebackers. But I don't really feel like Bond. I mean, not Bond, but Campbell should be riding pine again for another year. Like, I think he's too good of a talent to be sitting on the bench. And I know you're talking about putting him in the packages or whatnot, but I think he's more than just a package linebacker, and especially with a full off season training, all that stuff, he should be ready to go this year.
Bro, you remember Michael Parsons' first 2 years in the NFL? He played linebacker and he played all across the defensive line. I feel like Campbell can fit that role. If we do keep Dean, I feel like he can fit that role. He don't have to be a 100% full-time player. He don't have to be. But in those impact downs,
I think what you're saying is true, but he should be a full-time player by doing the way you're saying. Like, you can have him as some linebacker, you can have him some DN. I do think he can play both. I think he can play a little DN, I think he can play a little linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you should mismatch them there, depending on teams and coverages and stuff you want to run. Like, I do agree on that part. I will say that. Hey, we got a super chat here from Robert. Get it up here. Shout out to you, Robert. He said, Robert Dredden with the super chat. He said, what up, fellas? Hope y'all having a good week so far. AJ ain't going nowhere. Sidebar. Never buy a blanket from the Dallas Cowboys secondary. They can't cover anything. Hey, Robert always comes with the most fires fucking shit in terms of hating on the Dallas Cowboys. He is definitely anti-Cowboys. Salute to you with the $10 super chat, my God. Much love to you. And yeah, like I said, like that is the question too. From what you heard from Howie today, do you think AJ's going anywhere?
I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like a lot of stuff in the off season is like smoke screens, and I mean, you never know what these dudes really thinking, like their intentions. So it's hard to say. AJ might be gone. I mean, that's a big cap hit though. AJ going this year, so I don't
Well, like
believe
people
it's
like
gonna
talk
happen,
about the
bro.
cap hit. That's one thing I want to say about this show because we talked about AJ a lot. But on the cap hit side of it, right? Just imagine this. If you're talking about a guy like Crosby, right, who's under contract, if you were to trade AJ for a Crosby, you're basically switching dead money. You know what I'm saying? Like Raiders got dead money for Crosby, AJ got dead money. For the Eagles, they both got big contracts. You'll be switching one for one at the end of the day. Like the dead cap money is not going to really outweigh one or the other. That's what I'm saying. That they're two-star players at two different positions. But if you were to make a trade like that, and that's why I think Howie says he keeps it open. Like he's not shutting down any trade. He's not saying he's trading AJ, but he also said he's not shutting down any trades. He's going to listen to everything. Because there are some players in this league where if you were to make that trade, that dead cap money is not going to mean shit because the other team's dead cap money they're going to do for trading their player is going to be huge too. which
But you know it don't work like that, right, BJ?
it does work like that.
It don't work like that. And the contract like clauses, if he's traded in this year or by this time, it don't matter who else you sign. That dead cap is dead cap.
That's what I'm saying. Though, like,
Unless you find a
regardless,
motherfucker,
you
unless you
lose
find a
that.
motherfucker that's
Like
gonna take
I'm
that
saying
shit
that in
on.
terms of like the Eagles are losing their cap, but the other teams losing their cap too. But they're both getting the players that they want.
But they don't know. It don't work like that. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
tell you.
because if you trade a Miles Garrett, you're gonna have a huge dead cap in Cleveland in terms of like the cap money that need to be paid for Miles Garrett because he costs more than AJ Brown.
Okay, but look, before July 1st, right? It's 28 mil. After July 1st, it's 40 million. It don't matter who you trade for.
But
That
you
don't
did it
compensate for that.
before because we had
No.
Carson Wentz, who was like what a $50 million cap hit, $60 million cap hit. We cut him.
But
So
they took that cap hit. Why you think we had that bad season? They couldn't sign nobody. This is what I'm trying to tell you, bro. They could not sign nobody. Once
what
that cap hit, it's in effect.
we've been to the playoffs ever since Carson Wentz been gone. We've been to the
But you're
playoffs.
not understanding what I'm
One
saying,
bad season,
BJ. The year after we traded Carson Wentz, we could not sign nobody because of the cap hit.
we did. We sat Jurgensen from the Ravens, a defensive tackle. We went to the Super Bowl. We had like
No, we didn't.
yeah, Jai. We had
The
all these.
year after we let Carson Wentz go, that's when we lost to Tampa Bay in the first round when we went down in 7. BG,
Yeah.
no. Once that cap hit there, you cannot sign nobody. That's a contract clause. You cannot sign nobody.
What I'm saying though, you look at that. I understand what you're saying with that. Like that's a big hit, but that Carson Wentz hit was like 60 million. This is
But
AJ
AJ
Brown.
gonna be 40. He gonna be 40.
That's a huge difference considering the fact that TV revenue added an extra like 25 million to everybody's cap hit anyway.
But who you signing with that though? That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying if you were, I'm saying that only makes it sense if you traded for like a Miles Garrett or if you traded for like a Max Crosby in their contract.
You
Like
do
that's the
know
only
Miles
thing that
Garrett
makes
just
sense.
signed a
It
contract
makes
last
sense.
year.
It makes sense in terms of like the extras that you got this year from the commercial deals. You can use to sign those players, and it's not that big of a deal.
No,
So
you
we're
can't,
right back to
BJ.
square one. Say we got a Max Crosby and that's $25 million hit. You know what I'm saying? Like we just gained $25 million
No, we
in
didn't.
deal that we just got. So at the end
BG,
of
I
the
don't think
day,
you I don't think
we're
you
right
understand
back
how the
to
cap
where
works,
we're at
BJ.
in the beginning.
I don't think you understand how the cap works, BJ. Once you lose that
I
counts
don't want
against
you
your
to gain
season.
money. You gain money regardless of what you
No,
lose.
you don't. You do not gain money. Now, all right, so with the TV deals or whatever like that, you do not gain money if you lose 40 or 28,000 on AJ Brown. You do not gain money. That count against your year with the cap. You can't compensate for that. So we can't sign a Max
I'm
Crosby.
saying
And Miles
AJ's
Garrett just signed a contract.
listen,
Miles Garrett
AJ's
just signed a
24
contract
million,
next year.
right? We gained 25 million. We're already a million up if we trade him.
No, we not, bro.
Compared to
That's what I'm
last
saying.
year, we are. And we had a Super Bowl caliber team last year that just wasn't coached right.
BJ, can you just hear me out, BJ? Just hear me out, all right? Just hear me out. Once you lose that 28 or 40 million, that counts against you for the year. You cannot sign nobody. You can't get a Max Crosby. You cannot get a Miles Garrett. Especially you can't get Miles Garrett because he just signed a contract last offseason. He's not going nowhere. So Miles Garrett is out the picture.
I promise you, if the Eagles went to Cleveland, was like, we'll give you a number 2 and AJ Brown for Miles Garrett, they would do it.
You can't do it. If
You
you
can't.
let AJ Brown go,
Listen, Howie had a $60 billion dead cap and we still have players. You don't act like we didn't sign nobody that year.
we didn't.
We weren't able to sign everybody we wanted, but we signed some players that year, and we had a team to make it to the playoffs.
Who did we sign?
They were hurt.
Who did we sign? Who did we sign? We had Jordan Howard. We had Jalen Rigger, JJ Ortega Whiteside. We had Deshaun Jackson on a minimum deal, on a veteran minimum. Who did we sign that year, BJ?
Those are good enough players to do something. They just
Oh,
sucked. Deshaun
come
was
on, man.
trash because he was too old and wasn't healthy enough. You know, Jordan Howard was iffy on his health. Those are bad decisions. That doesn't mean we didn't sign anybody. We signed people that were talented players. They just didn't produce to the level that we needed them to produce to. That's
But
where
we
that.
saying we Super
Like I'm
Bowl
saying,
clear
like
super.
how is that good? Where with an extra $35 million on a motherfucking cap, he can go ahead and make a move like that if he want to really make it. And I think that's really why, he said because he said it right here, man. Like listen to him, man. Like I ain't
He
lying. This
did.
is what the boy said. Like he said that about
He
AJ.
did.
I get it long term. Like I don't.
Always try to make decisions in calm times. You don't. We do the same thing in the draft. We have a value for, every player on the roster, so that we don't get sideswiped on anything. That we understand what we would do. That doesn't mean we would trade them, but at the same time, we got to be open to listen on everything that we do here. That's what a lot of this week's about. That's what a lot of the first couple weeks of free agency is about. That doesn't mean there'll necessarily be action, but you got to be willing to listen. We'll do that during the draft as well, and decide what's the best for the Philadelphia Eagles. At the end of the day, everything we do is what's best for the Philadelphia Eagles so that we can try to compete and hopefully win another championship.
He's listening. Meaning he's listening because there are trades that are out there that will make it make sense. And I feel like those trades are very few. There's only certain elite players that you will bring to your team that you were worth sacrificing that dead cap money. And like a Miles Garrett, a Max Crosby. Those are players that you would do that for.
There's no sacrificing the dead cap money, BJ. There's no sacrificing to the dead cap money. You know that, right? Once the dead cap is on your joint, you can't do nothing.
I understand what you're saying. Like you
Dead
can't erase dead cap money, just like we couldn't erase it when Carson was left. At the end of the day, you can maneuver. Like we can have more cap space though this year. We can restructure a Jordan Davis and have more cap space. We can let go of Michael Carter and have more cap space. Just those two moves alone gives you the cap space for a Miles Garrett or a Crosby. Like that's what you gotta realize. Like we have moves we can make right now to make the cap go higher than what it is right now. That's just the base point of where we're at. And with those moves, if we were to re-sign Jordan Davis, we were to let go Michael Carter, we were to do some other things, like we can make the caps. Howie Roseman can make the cap space to get either one of those guys in trade. And
But you know how much you gonna have to restructure.
The Browns team trying to, put out Sador Sanders, make him the guy. If you go give Sador Sanders, he got a good tight end already. You got a good running back already. You go give him an AJ Brown, he will love it. You know what I'm saying? He will love it. The team will be that much better with an AJ Brown. And not just him, the Patriots. They don't have a number one, Stephen Diggs, whatever. But you go give them an AJ Brown, they will love that shit. And they will eat that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a couple of teams out there that, like, I feel like that, every year you got teams like, whoa, they're stupid. Why would you make that trade? That's too much because they got too much. There's some teams that got over $100 million in cap space right now. That's weird. There's teams that are out there that got that much cap space where they don't give a fuck. They even probably tell the Eagles they'll pay the dead cap money to get AJ Brown on their team if we were to really trade him. So
you can't pay the dead cap money, BJ.
They can.
No, you can't.
Your team's eating up the salary that the other team had to pay.
No, it don't work like that. It's a contract clause, bro. It's a contract clause. Once you trade, look, hear me out and just listen. Once AJ Brown is off this roster, the contract clause is no paying that. He could sign a new contract, but you're still stuck with that dead cat money. It don't matter. It don't matter if he signed a new contract. It don't matter if you cut this motherfucker. It don't matter, bro. You're stuck with that because that's what y'all put in the contract clause.
There's been people though that took on that part of the contract before in the history of the NFL. Trey, there's been
No, because that wasn't a clause in the contract.
contract.
That wasn't a clause in that contract. If it happened, it wasn't a clause in that contract, bro. AJ Brown signed a contract where y'all cannot cut this motherfucker. Y'all can't trade him. Nothing. Listen to me.
I also feel like it was the team that AJ feel like he can get what he wanted, which AJ, I already know how I feel about what AJ wants. AJ wants the ball a lot. I guarantee you, it's a team like the Raiders, a team like Cleveland, that he would get the ball a lot. He would be keen to re-sign a new contract with him.
It don't matter. He can re-sign a contract.
He can't no, that does matter. If he re-signs a contract before the trade, then that means the contract is what it is, and it can help the Eagles out moving forward in terms of cap space.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have a no trade clause. What I'm saying is when you sign a contract, right? The contract they signed, you cannot cut or trade this motherfucker until his contract is up. If you do, that's where the cap hit come in at. That's where the $28 million come in. After July, it's $40 million.
But that's what I said. He can re-sign.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the chat. I'm trying to make them understand what's going on. When you sign that contract, right? It don't matter if you're like your third, fourth, fifth year. You cannot trade this motherfucker without no cap hit. That's the contract that they signed. It don't matter if he got a no trade cost or nothing. It's on paper. It's written down. It's set in stone. Why do you think the professionals keep saying if they trade him, it's $28 million. After July, it's 40, because that's what they signed on the dotted line about. Because
I thought it was the opposite, where if they trade him before it's more, and then after June it will be less, but that'll be after the draft.
No, after June it'll be more. If you trade him before June, it'll be less. It don't matter. It's not basketball. There's no trade contracts, bro. A trade clause. It's not basketball. Y'all thinking about basketball. Now, motherfucker in ball, there's no trade contract. Now we could discuss it. And you trade wherever you want to be traded at, or we'll figure that out. But that's not how football works.
Okay, so how football works to trade? If you were to trade him, are you confident enough that Devontae Smith can hold the load?
If you could give him if you could still be a Batman and Robin, to where you trade for somebody, or you draft a dude that's ready to come in and play right now, I feel like Devontae could be a great number one. I feel like could have been a great number one, honestly.
Yeah, because this is what Nick had to say about Devontae.
I think he continually gets better. I think you saw him have a great year this year. And, even when a guy prepares not to have as good a year, like, you're always looking at it like, is this arrow on the rise? Is this arrow on the fall? Like, and even if a guy doesn't have his best year, he still can be on the rise. Well, I think we saw Devontae have a great year, and I think you just continue to see him play better and better. And I think that's a tribute to who he is. Guys that are tough, that love football, that are smart football players, and are talented, have a tendency to reach their ceiling, and God willing. And I think that's what you're seeing. You're seeing him continue to get better. You're seeing him continue to do these things and make plays only that he can make on the football field. And so I just think you continue to see him on the rise, and excited about what he'll look like in this new offense that we'll have.
I really feel like the Eagles are really considering making Devontae number one. Because I did a little video about, like, no matter how good AJ is, you got to respect the fact that Devontae been sacrificing too. Smitty, no matter what y'all thought, the first year he went to the playoffs, he only had 900 yards, I know. But he's only, like, a Heisman winning receiver. and he's one of the best route runners in the game right now. And over the last 4 years, he's been dynamic. Like he's been like awesome, getting better every single year, like Nick said. And I do believe that the best is still out in front of him that he cannot get to AJ Brown team. So I feel like this trade might be necessary to get the best Smitty.
I agree. Like you said, he since his rookie year, it was just him and AJ. So this might be Devontae breakout year. Honestly, if y'all could put like a solid number 2 or 3 around him. Um,
Like
even
if
without
you
that,
were to make the trade with AJ, would you bring back DeHaan Dawson or would you go like for Dobbs?
I'm bringing back Jahan. If AJ got to go, I'm bringing back Jahan. Jahan been waiting for his time. Honestly, he been the number 3, and honestly, he probably been the number 5. Honestly, because you got
Yeah.
he been the number 5 because you still got AJ, Devontae, them the first 2 looks and the wide receiver. Then you got Saquon out the backfield. Then you got Goddard. So yeah, he been the number 5, and I feel like he been shortchanged. He been shortchanged honestly. So I mean, if he decides to come back to Philly and they tell him AJ is going to be gone, I feel like he'd be a solid number 2 because you could play him out of the slot. You could give him those jet sweeps. You could give him those quick routes where he can make some plays. So
For
him and
those who
Jahan
think
Dotson.
Dobbs would be better at the number 3 spot or number 2 spot, how would you compare Dobbs compared to? He's gonna be a free agent for Green Bay, and you know that's where Mannion comes from. How you compare him to a Jahan Dawson?
Hold on 1 second. You, um, what's that? Name brand 73, 72. He would be great as a number 1, but he'll keep getting hurt. Watch. His rookie season, he didn't get hurt at all. College, he didn't get hurt. So why you feel like Devontae will be a person that'll get hurt all of a sudden?
No, I don't think he'd get hurt either.
Yeah,
And I do like
he
I
never
do
been
like
he never been an injury prone player. So why you saying he'll get hurt?
and I do like Johnny Wilson being back for the blocking receiver. I do like that. So he was a good blocking receiver last year. He was hurt this
Yeah, but
year.
he coming off an ACL tear, so you don't know what happened with
I do
Johnny
think
Wilson.
Cooper though.
Honestly,
I think not only does Dawson need some more carries, I think he earned the carries, like you said. I think Dawson earned his carries. So you at least got to sign him to a 2 year deal. And you let him go out there if you do trade AJ and let him be a number 2. And then you have a guy like Cooper to be your number 3 because he's earned more receptions too. And that be yours. Devontae get the bulk of the receptions. Dawson, then Cooper. And I think we have a good receiving core. Then you got Johnny Wilson gonna get his own targets. He's gonna be his good blocking receiver, you know. And I think there was another receiver too we liked last year. Oh, you draft the receiver. You add to the bunch.
I like Darius Cooper in the preseason, but I don't feel like Batulo used him to his best ability. And his best ability is going up, contesting catches, and getting the ball in his hands, making a play. So this would cook me about the Eagles, honestly. Like we had so much talent, bro, but they did not know how to get the ball in these dudes' hands. And it's like I didn't see offenses with way less talent that did
Way less.
better. It was way less. It was like, damn, bro, we got all pro talent. We got a number
Yeah.
one. We got a number 1 that's gonna be a number 1 anywhere. We got a number 2 that could be a number 1 anywhere. Jahan Dotson was drafted high. High. He could be a number 2 anywhere. Dallas Goddard is one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Saquon Barkley is the best running back. How you can't get the ball in these dudes' hands is like it's beyond me, bro. It's beyond me. Like how you can't get the ball in these dudes' hands for them to make a play is beyond me. There shouldn't be no reason we going a whole half without getting a first down.
Facts.
It's like, bro, it's crazy. It's beyond me, bro. It's
Facts.
like I could do that. Like I coach little league football, and I could have two, probably three dogs on my team, and I'm gonna figure out how to get the football in their hands. Y'all
Facts.
profession, y'all professionals. Y'all are professionals. You're a professional, bro. There's no reason your offense should have been bottom tier. No reason with the weapons you had. It don't matter what you call it. There's no reason it should have been bottom tier. Your quarterback is a dual threat. You have a dual threat quarterback. It's like, bro, I don't. It burned me out because I didn't understand what was going on, honestly. And it was like, yo, y'all chose to bring this dude up. Y'all chose to put him where he wanted to be, but it's like, there's no way you got Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, who was a first round pick, um, Darius Cooper, who showed himself in the preseason. It's like, there's no reason you can't put an offense together where all these dudes could be eating, bro. Probably not on the same capacity, but at least close. At least we not the bottom. We not in the bottom 20. We should have been this offense. Honestly, it should have been at least top 10, top 5 offense, bro. It should have been. And it's
What
like,
do you think about what do you think about Dallas Goddard? Is he coming back? Should we sign? Like, I think we should sign Dallas Goddard to a 1 year deal again, and then draft Sadiq Morgan, and then let him mentor Sadiq until next year, and let him go. Or we sign Dallas Goddard to a 1 year deal and trade for Cal Pitts, and then after this year, let Cal Pitts be our number feature back, tight end. How do you feel about that?
if it's me, we don't have no tight end signed on the roster. So, um, I probably bring back Granson, um, Dallas Goddard. And I ain't even gonna lie, like, bro, he had his best season as an Eagle, so he's not gonna sign no 1 year deal, bro. He's getting older. He's getting older. He's trying to get some pape. He's trying to get some paper. If I'm Dallas Goddard, I done had a whole lot of injury prone seasons and all that. I had my best season. I didn't. I played all the games. I had my best season as an Eagle, so I'm trying to get paid. If it's me and and the younger from Oregon, Sadiq, he do fall to us. I'm trying to sign Dallas Goddard. I'm bringing back Grayson, and I'm signing Sadiq because he give me that Zach Ertz vibe with a little bit more pizzazz. So I'm bringing him in. I'm letting him sit under Goddard for like a year or two, and then he's gonna be our future tight end. If I'm Howie Roseman and I'm making them type of deals, that's what I'm doing, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I think you should do for sure. Like, you should draft Sadiq and keep Dallas Goddard for 1 more year. But like you said, he might not want a 1 year deal. But you said you sign him to a top heavy 2 or 3 year deal, so where you can get out of it 1 year or 2 years with Sadiq. Because if either you do that or you let him walk, you do whatever you can to go get Kyle Pitts and Sadiq and let those guys be your tight ends moving forward.
Yeah, no, I'm drafting younger. Like I said, he's a more defined, faster, quicker Zach Ertz than me. He's a mismatch nightmare. You could put him out against linebackers, safeties, nickel corners. He's going to dog them. Only thing he got to get better on, in my opinion, is his blocking. You got to get better as a blocker. And that come with like coaching and drilling it. But as far as like mismatch nightmare, oh yeah, no, he's gonna cook linebackers. He's gonna cook nickels and safeties. Now you can get this dude in his offense and y'all running the show McVay type offense. I'm cool with that, bro. Like I
You just
take
gotta
it.
remember, Kraft was like leading the tight ends before he got hurt.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like he's a mismatch nightmare, especially with Saquon Barkley play action, over the middle, bro, he's a mismatch nightmare. He just got to get better as a blocker, and that come with like coaching and getting the right dudes around him. But dude, he's gonna be legit in the league if he go to the right team, and I feel like he'll be still around in that range where we picking at.
What about
I don't like
CJ?
I don't like Isaiah Likely in free agency, bro. It's like
Oh,
all
wait, because I was gonna go CJ, but you just brought up Likely. I like Likely.
I like
Think
them too. It's the same thing. You gonna get an older Likely or you gonna get a younger Sadiq. I'd rather get a younger Sadiq for cheaper because a Likely looking for money. And we ain't gonna if we trade AJ,
Likely's not that old though.
he's not old, but he's not as young as Sadiq.
That's true.
He's not old, and likely not no good blocker either. He's a split type tight end. He's a dude that you could flex out and put him up, and he's a mismatch nightmare. But he's not no inline blocking type tight end like Goddard was. So yeah, if you want to run the ball with Saquon, you gonna need that inline blocking tight end. And we don't have no tight ends on the roster at all.
Damn,
None.
zero. Yeah. What about bringing CJ back? You know, because you heard CJ said, "Where's it at here?" Hell yeah! Tell the boys to get with me. Every year we got brought back CJ. If we don't bring back Blankenship, do you bring back CJ to be with Makuba? Could you imagine having two ball hawk safeties back there? And CJ can stop the run as well. Would you like to see that happen?
I don't think they bring back CJ for the third time. Honestly, whatever happened on the last one, it was personal between both sides. Um, all CJ did this year with Chicago was talk about the Eagles. So I think it was personal. I don't think they bring him back again. I would if it was me. Honestly, I would because, like you said, every time we had CJ, we went to the Super Bowl. When we played the Chiefs the first time, CJ was there. When we played the Chiefs the second time, CJ was there. But I think this is more personal than anything. So I don't think they bring him back. I think they fight hard to bring back Blankenship and hopefully Makuba gets healthy. I mean, if not, you got you got Sidney Brown to fill in for that until you come back. But I don't think they bring back CJ, honestly, in my opinion.
And all this being said, the last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here is Nick Sirianni on the hot seat.
In my opinion, no. I don't feel like he on the hot. Why would he be on the hot seat? You gotta think about the history of since he's
Because
been here.
you picked these offensive coordinators that sucked 2 times in a row. And from what we hear, you're picking it basically was Nick Sirianni. When you heard him talk today, he basically was like, I interviewed 17 people. He said I. He didn't say we. He said I interviewed 17 people, and this is the best candidate we got for you. It's Mannion. So that being said, this is a Nick Sirianni hire. And Minion. It's a different scheme, yes, but it's still his hire. If it doesn't go right, it's Nick Sirianni on the hot seat. Because if we don't go to the Super Bowl, or we don't even make it to like the NFC Championship game, this team is too talented for that. Do you think that if we got rid of Dougie P, he won our first Super Bowl ever after a year, after 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And they go on that same trajectory.
I don't think I don't think Nick Sirianni on the hot seat. Honestly, I feel like it's more of a. I don't even think that Sean Mannion hire was Nick Sirianni. I feel like that was probably Howie and Jeffrey, but he's going to take the fall for that, honestly. But why would you want to get rid of this dude? Why would you want to get rid of Sirianni? Honestly, it's like y'all, the dude, like you scream about Jalen Hurts all the time, BJ. Jalen Hurts been in the playoffs every year of his career, but who he been in the playoffs with?
Yeah,
Nick
there's
Sirianni, right?
Nick. Nick is that guy.
Yeah, yeah. All he did was win since he been here. So why we getting rid of this dude, bro? Why? It's clearly something he's
Because
doing
he's
that's
not
keeping.
if Mannion doesn't work out, it'll be he's not learning his lesson.
But I don't feel like Mannion was a Nick Sirianni pick. I feel like that's more of a Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman pick, and he's just taking the brood of all of it. It's like, all right, well, they hired him. I'm gonna stick my neck out because at the end of the day, you the head coach. You're not higher than these dudes, so you got to stick your neck out for that pick. But I don't feel like Sirianni on the hot seat. Even if we go 11-6, 12-5, something like that, and we don't win the Super Bowl or nothing like that, that's like Nick Sirianni is legendary right now. He don't even peep. Like everybody don't like the theatrics or he don't call plays and all that stuff like that, but he's legendary right now. He never
No, the
missed the
same
playoffs.
legendary trajectory of Jalen Hurts. I feel it.
Yes, he's legendary. He never missed the playoffs, just like Jalen Hurts. He never had to lose a season, just like Jalen Hurts. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, just like Jalen Hurts, and he's won one, just like Jalen Hurts. Like, bro, like what are we talking about right now? Y'all remember those? Even Andy Reid, he had a million bad seasons, a million bad seasons. It gave him what, like 14 years? He had a million bad seasons. Nick Sirianni has not had one yet. He's not had a bad season yet. He had seasons y'all probably not liked, but he's not had a bad season yet. So it's like, wow, if we're gonna keep Jalen, why not keep the coach that they've been winning with all this year? Who we gonna go get? Who y'all want? Who do y'all want? The dude has been nothing but a winner since he's been here in Philadelphia. Who do y'all want? So yeah, no, he's not on. In my opinion, he's not on the hot seat at all. It's like, y'all gonna put him on the hot seat? That's crazy. Even if he have a bad season, y'all gonna put him on the hot seat? That's crazy. So if y'all put him on the hot seat, y'all put Jalen Hurts on the hot seat too, because they've been winning together.
That's facts.
Together.
It goes along with. Do you think Jalen Hurts is going to get a extension when the time comes after next year?
Bro, they both gonna get extended together. We might be in the Super Bowl again this year. Who knows? You know, that's how we've been every 2 years, right, BJ?
Facts.
We went to the
Hey,
Super Bowl.
first round, Super Bowl, first round, Super Bowl, first round.
I don't
So
get it. I don't get it. Like y'all
it's
might
Super
not like it. Y'all might not like to do theatrics and all that, but or he don't call plays and all that stuff like that. But at the end of the day, John Harbaugh never called plays. Y'all love him. Tomlin never called plays. Y'all love him. So it's like, come on, y'all can't just pick and choose because y'all don't like how the dude is on the sideline. He played football. I'm the same way. I coach little league football, bro. I be into the game too sometimes. I be like, and they be having to calm me down. I be like, oh, all right, I ain't playing no more. Like it's like shit. It's like shit. I ain't playing no more. My fault. I didn't got all in my feelings and all that. But it happens though. That's what comes with football. Football is an emotional game. It's an emotional game, bro. You got to get up every day, body hurting, everything like that. Lace up and play this football game. After you've been through a grueling practice all week, like bro, that come with the game, bro. So yeah, you're gonna get a little bit emotional because it's life. It's life. Football is life to certain people.
That's
So
facts.
it's life, bro. BG, you played.
Hell yeah.
Now you go out to a game, you be like, God damn, I wish I was out on that field. It bring out different emotions, bro. It's
I
like
do that shit now, and I'm like 44 years old. I'm like, I
right.
wish I was out there. I'll go play. I can still go out there and run around a little hard. You know what I'm saying? I might not be the featured back, but you can give me like 10 carries a game.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I feel like at my age, I feel like I can still go out there and tote the rock a little bit. It's an emotional game, bro. Once you grew up around that shit, bro, you don't know nothing but football. Nick Sirianni came from a football family. He played. His dad was a coach. His brother was a great player. Do your research. His brother was a great player, a great football player. He looked up to him. So it's like football is in his blood. So yeah, you're gonna get emotional. You're gonna get, out of pocket sometimes. I do it. I coach little league football and I do it. And they be like, Jay, you look back up, you gotta chill. Like but if that shit
You right back up.
if it's in you, it's in you, bro. It's like, look, bro, I love it. I love the dude. I love Nick Sirianni for everything he did for us these years he been here.
Hey man,
It,
I ain't mad at you, man. That's legit. The Nick's definitely done his thing, man. And like you said, like you can't go Nick without Jalen. You can't go Jalen without Nick. And they both are winners. Period. At the end of the day, the Eagles as a whole, with them leading the ship, is winners. So I feel like we are safe and the leaders that we have for this football team. Howie Roseman's going into this week. He's going to be talking to, Zach Ertz's agent to see if he can get a deal with him for another year. If not, then Zach will have to go, and we're going to replace him with someone better. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like it's all trust in Howie, and Howie knows best, and Howie will lead us to the promised land. Because this year, it's going to continue the trend of Super Bowl first round, Super Bowl first round, and it's gonna be back Super Bowl again. So, hey man, salute to you. Make sure you guys go hit that like, hit that subscribe, and go subscribe to my boy Jay, One Trade Rock. Let's get him up there. He deserves to be there. He drops facts and knowledge throughout the Eagles community. So, any last words, Trey?
yeah, man. I'm just saying, like, it's a long off season. It's a long off season. There's a lot that's gonna happen. Probably not with the Eagles, but overall NFL wise, there's a lot that's gonna happen. This the downtime. If you watch basketball, watch you some basketball. Combine coming up. Baseball this spring. Baseball look, bro. Sports all year around. It depends on what your preference is. But at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles this year is unknown, coaching wise, player wise, all that. So we're gonna rock out through this all season. We're gonna go through the draft, free agency draft, boom, boom, all that, and then football gonna be right back. It's gonna be right back, and we're gonna be having these discussions again. So I don't really got too much to say, man. It's your boy One Trade Rock. I'm out of here.
Hey man, this Bird Game 31. Fly, Eagles, fly. And we out. Peace.